Y'all ready for this?
I love the show. I love you guys. Fucking, let's go Jets. Jets, Jets.
We can't all be beautiful.
You're in the danger zone.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride.
Welcome into the DZ, folks. Hit that or spike that like button. It is Friday. What's up, Murph?
Oh man, another feel-good Friday, as our buddy Pat McAfee always says. West Virginia legend. Well, WVU legend. He's from PA. Anyway, it literally, soon as the show started, it just started pouring the rain here, and it has been absolutely brutally hot all week long. I'm talking 95 plus, real feel of over 100. Like, just you walk outside and lose 10 pounds. Like, you don't even have to do anything. Just walk outside, boom, sweat, 10 pounds gone. Like, crazy miracle stuff out here.
I do not miss that one bit. For folks who don't know, I'm on the West Coast now. I can run to the ocean in like run. I can run to the ocean in like 5 minutes. Bro, high of 65, low of 55. Now the water is not warm. It's not, and it will never be. But I think it's a good trade-off because I'm not a fucking excuse me. First 5 minutes, I shouldn't say it like that. But I'm not an egg yolk in a frying pan like the past week has been in West Virginia, PA, Ohio, New York, New Jersey, cooking.
Absolutely cooked, just like a certain team on your head's getting right now.
Dude, I stopped watching it like what 8-1. I'm like, man, we just wasted a Soto homer for nothing. I will say he's cooking. Yeah, there you go. There you go. he is cooking, but it sucks, man. Every time he's cooking, Alonso slacks, and every time Alonso's cooking, he's like, and then pitchers going down every freaking 2 days. Yeah, it's rough, man. So, anytime you want to part with Paul Skeens,
It's going to happen inevitably. They don't want to pay their good players. They don't want to keep. They don't want to build around a good player and actually contend. So, if you got like a bag of half-used, peanuts, at least just the shells left over, I'm sure you could probably strike a deal.
I would like to, brother. But also, like, if everyone was just healthy, we might not even need him. But, bro, whoever pulls off the trade for Paul Skeens, because Pittsburgh does not have to trade him, not for like another year and a half, 2 years. So if they find a way to pry him away this year, it's going to be for a boatload of something. We'll see. Hey, that's where we're at, though. I want to just get that off my chest. Like, it's June 27th, guys. Not a whole lot of Jets stuff. We can rehash the same shit we've done a million times, but that's us right there looking for nuggets, man. And also, like, my job this week got way more labor intensive. MURPHH, you guys know we start every show with what MURPHH is like. That 95 is like, that's his every Friday. Um, but what I want to say while we have some folks here is that anything you'd like us to discuss, throw in the chat, because we are going to lean on you guys tonight. We have a little brief game we want to play because, you know, when I sit back and like reflect on this channel, I feel like a lot of you guys, we don't often share things like personal. So I have a couple things I want to drop tonight. Murph's got a couple he wants to drop, but we'll get there. In the meantime, though, anything you guys have jet wise, we're open to. Just got off a steamy debate on the Brees Hall front. Did you witness any of that, Murph?
Yeah, I was listening to that. As you guys know, there's another incredible show right before us every Friday. Jets Worldwide, wide, with Snowball and Johnny, and they always bring in the heat with the guests, and they had our good buddy Jets Chaos on there, and Tigo, and there's some good Brees Hall talk going on. Tonight on that show, and I tuned in and kind of caught the tail end of it. It was a good time, but I'm sure we'll have our own debates tonight, especially whenever the old call-in link gets dropped. And we're always down for it. We're always down to have some beers, talk some bull crap, and just enjoy our Friday nights, man. But yeah, you said tonight's going to get a little bit more personal than what we normally do. Not that we're ever really against that. It's just we get on here and we just talk some ball, and it's funny, like some of these shows, like, and a lot of us in the chats and stuff. I mean, we've watched all these Jet content creators, and it's like they feel like family and stuff because we've just listened to them every day, and we just know about their lives and things that go on, like our good buddy Green Bean. He's like, to me, he's like the fucking cool uncle that I've had. Like, he's always got the coolest stories and stuff going on. And if you guys don't tune into Green Bean, my God, what are you doing?
That's the exact guy that inspired this stream tonight.
Really? That's crazy that I thought of that because you didn't tell me that initially. Yeah, Green Bean, and that's the thing about him, man. Like, he's also, I know that he has positively influenced, a lot of his chat, his viewers and stuff like that, because he's the guy that's son. Got you.
Hey, son. You know, if I follow you, will you come over to YouTube and subscribe to me? You know why? Because I'm at 419 subscribers, and this could end as a 420 celebration.
It could. I cannot partake in said things, but it could still be a celebration. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna get a little more personal tonight. We'll drop a little facts, maybe a lie. We'll see. We're gonna let the chat decide how that goes. Yes, Yeti. Green Bean's amazing, still to this day, always has been. I always love jumping in his chats and listening to him, man. Even if he's
continue, but I just wanted to mention, like, if you're new to the channel, or if Fridays are busy for you, you may not always catch us. Just know that we did have Green Bean on like less than a month ago, and it blew up, man. Like we're over 1,000 views on that stream. So, and a lot of the conversation topics are still relevant. So if you haven't seen that, I'll drop the link in the chat. You can maybe save it to your watch later list or something. But yeah, check that out because it was a good beard on beard off. But continue, Murph.
Beard off. That's always a good show if it's a beard off. Yeah, no, I mean, I really didn't have much more to go. I'll just, give him Green Bean his props. He's a great dude. And like you said, a lot of the topics still relevant today because we really haven't had a whole lot of news drop. And I did want to ask you this on the show, and we might as well ask you right now. Like, do you think that this regime is a little more tight knit? Like, because we don't have as much news, or do you just think we're just at an incredible lull?
Uh, tough, tough, man. Um, I think it's a little of both. I mean, I hate to play the fence, but I do think it's a little of both. We really all we have are the contract extensions. But honestly, I don't know where you're at with them, but I think they're going to be here in like 2-3 weeks before camp breaks. Because come on, you're asking, like, you're having the guys come and participate and be leaders, and how much longer are you going to expose them to serious injury before you reward them? Like you can't have them break camp and be out there and still expect them to be role models. So yeah, I do expect that to happen before camp. And then I think shit, when that breaks, all bets are off. We're going to have news and nuggets for like 11 months. So I do think it's more so the lull, but also like this team didn't like dramatize their mini camps and OTAs leading into this lull like we have in the past. Hell, I look back 12 months ago and we had a Devonte Adams watch stream. Like that's where like we already had shit cooking for the lull that we then just bled straight into it, and that's probably why I'm so exhausted but um I think it's both. I do think it is a little of both. I think it's more so the lull, but also the fact that everybody's on their best behavior, trying to put, first impressions with the new regime, sans Corley, who can't stay healthy. But like, there's no drama right now because everybody is trying to, still carve out their new role for these guys. What do you think of that answer?
I think I'm not with Johnny Boy. Old Johnny's in there saying he thinks the new regime got rid of all the rats. I do not think that's the case. I think that eventually, if you give it a couple years, we're going to have these things dropping left and right, just like we always do. You have to think it is a new regime. The Rich Saminis of the world and stuff, they're still getting acquainted with these guys, trying to befriend all these guys, the new regime that's come in, so they're not quite getting the nuggets that they used to. And I also wanted to say, I mean, I don't want to blame Mr. Rogers or his neighborhood about some of the drama that goes around the team, but the dude is just an absolute, he's a Hall of Famer, he's a superstar, he gets a lot of eyes on him, man. So there's always stuff to talk about around Aaron Rodgers. So when we had him, there was always some stuff going on. He's not with the team anymore. There's not a ton of big names other than the guys that have been here for a while. Like, if you want to say that Brees Hall or Garrett Wilson's a big name, that's fine. But like, maybe not national media wise. Like, so we don't have these like headline grabbing names and stuff with the team. It's just like you're starting from scratch. So I just think I really think it's a lull, and I think it's a matter of like you don't have these superstars that are drawing all this extra attention even when there's nothing going on.
Yeah, facts. Where I guess, what are your thoughts on the extensions? Whether you want to, focus on the two that are more public or all of them. just a quick 60 seconds or so, what is your kind of gut feeling on them? When they come, yes, but also like, will there be any disputes? Will it be kind of chalk? Talk to me there.
I personally am a proactive guy when it comes to doing extensions and stuff like that. I've always been a guy that's like, hey, let's get this done now so we don't have to pay later, because you're going to pay more later, especially with the way that the cap keeps going up and up and up every year with the new TV deals and everything. You're going to pay a lot later, so you might as well get things done now. But I will say, like, when it comes to extensions, like you do have to be careful. If you have trepidations on any players, if you have doubts, then don't do it. But if there's a guy that you're just rock solid on, if you're just like, hey, Garrett Wilson's that dude, year in, year out, quarterback in, quarterback out, OC in, OC out. He's that dude. He's a role model. He's a leader. Then what are we waiting on? You know what I mean? Same thing with Sauce. If you believe that about those players, get it done. If you have trepidations, if you're like Jermaine Johnson coming off a major injury, maybe we need to wait, right? I get that. Let's wait then. If you have your trepidations, you wait. But if you're 97% sure that a player is going to do what he's been doing for your team, even under the new regime, then just get it done, man. That's how I look at it.
It's funny you said that because while you were describing it, I was thinking back to a comment I made earlier about the defense, and that was like everybody on that defense looked like a watered down version of themselves last year, except Sherwood. Um, but like, so what that does is that really limits the guys who like stand out going into next year. But Garrett's not one of them, man. Like, I get it. He was targeted less down the stretch last year, but I don't think that's through any fault of his own. I think you can build an offense that suits him. I think he's more of an underneath to intermediate guy. Can he win over the top? Yeah, he can. But like, I think he's best get the ball in his hands fast and let him create. I think he's better in open field, zigging and zagging and gumbying. And we have the quarterback that might make it perfect. Like, just get the ball out of your hands, bro. We don't want you back there for a long ass time looking. So I have no trepidations about him being worth the money he is about to receive. Sauce, the same, honestly, because he's not going to command what Garrett's going to command. I think we'll get, like, if you sign Sauce for, I don't know, I don't even know what the money is right now. Even if you gave him like 24 a year, 25 a year.
To be clear, you're saying that more based on what the position commands rather than how the player is performing and so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah, for me, it's more like well, a lot of people want to look at it like a pecking order, like this guy's better than that guy, but really it's like if you're near the top, it's who is due for a deal sooner. So like Garrett, he's not going to command Jamar Chase money, but I think he'll be in that 30, 32 range. If he's 32 and Sauce is 22, I'll take them both in a heartbeat. And guess what? If you give Sauce 22, he doesn't have to be all world to like what's the word I'm looking for? To make that worth it. Like, if you give him 25 even, like, I don't think he has to play his best ball to even make that worth it. Like, I think we've seen his floor. I think it's last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that his worst parts of last year are fairly easy to correct. So if he does command 22 to 25, where do I sign?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. I'm kind of on the train with you there, but I do think Sauce is going to make more money than that. I think him and Garrett's contracts are going to be very close to being dead even with each other.
Even though no corners make 30,
Yeah, no corners make 30 in previous years. You know, this is a new contract. It's a new salary cap. It, you know, we'll see how it goes. Has Sertan been? Did he get paid yet?
I can circle back to that, sir. I know. Well,
Because
let me
that's really
just good.
right now. Sertan is your benchmark. You know, there's other good corners in the league, and some of them might get the top deal for that year, and so on and so forth. But I think that you're really looking at Patrick Sertan and saying, you know, whatever he gets, Sauce is likely going to get that or pretty close to it. You know, if Sertan hasn't gotten a deal yet and he hasn't hit that
He
30,
has okay
okay,
four for 96, 24 per.
wow. I feel like
Telling you,
that's
man.
a steal. Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
so Stingley Jr. got 3 for 90. So I was wrong. There is one corner making 30 per. But
That's
everybody else, there's like 5 guys between 20 and 25, and that's where I have him.
that's interesting. Yeah. Well, Stingley though, that's all right. All right. Anyway, so if Stingley's getting 30, same draft class, what are they, like a pick or two apart? You know, Sauce is getting at least 28 in my opinion per year. And I
We
think Garrett
uh
28 to 30 range as well.
we might have to table this particular debate. I do want to predict Sauces now that we're so far. We're 5+ million AAV off. We got to put our predictions in stone. And that's assuming that Garrett sticks at 30. Who knows, man, with that wide receiver market. But if you're in the chat, hit that like button. We got some YouTube. We're about at the time where people start really flocking in. Um, Murph, you said you might have had a little something something. Are you prepared to hit that now?
Sure, yeah. One of the only nuggets I really found, and I just kind of wanted to do a little discussion and really kind of highlighting as a whole, and then I wanted to highlight one player in it. We had, you know, the tight end university kicked off, right? They do that every year, and it's gotten bigger and bigger as the years have gone along, and that's great. I think that's awesome. I think the tight ends should stick together. Those dudes, they work their asses off. You know, it's actually a very underappreciated position, in my opinion. Even the guys that aren't big name guys, like they do a lot, you know, out there. So as far as tight end U, we had 4 guys that were showing up to tight end U. Um, Johnny Boy's favorite, Zach Coons, um, Jeremy Rucker, Stone Smart, and Mason Taylor, right? I just wanted to get your opinion on how do you think that do you think that has any impact on like the tight end room or like pretty much our main guys like I don't know about Coons, but at least like the top 3 are there putting work in, learning from other tight ends, learning from the big names. They're out there. You know what I mean? They're out there putting the work in and stuff. Do you think that will benefit them? You know, as a whole, the tight end group. Do you think it'll build camaraderie? You know, things like that? And then also, it makes me think about Rucker, man. Like he's out there. He's trying. He's putting in some effort. You know, you don't have to attend tight end university. You don't. You know, is he going to make us? Is he going to take a step this year? Like, is he going to prove himself to be like a capable tight end too? Where like, okay, Mason Taylor goes down, we'll be fine with Ruckert for a few weeks or something. Like, are you, how do you feel about that? Like, because this is a big year for him, right? And he really hasn't shown a lot yet. We had high expectations. Is it time to meet him?
So, our tight end room in general, and again, like doing this show and pitch and takes, man, can be difficult because, like, especially in the off season, because my takes are dependent on my play calling and my usage, and that burnt me last summer quite a bit when it came to the running back rooms, especially. Uh, not, I mean, this is besides the point, but like, I think they would have been better off listening to me, but they didn't. Regardless, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is like we have no idea what they're going to do. Are they going to ride hot hands? Are they going to try to mold guys into like specific skill sets now? Because let's talk the latter, since we can't predict the play calling. What I would like to see is that Stone Smart gets molded into the receiving guy, not the premier, but he's a receiving guy. I would mold Ruckert into strictly blocking with the occasional catch, but like he should be adding mass right now heavily. Because I want you to be a six lineman at times. Mason Taylor at the top, I want to be a mix of both. So like he's our hybrid 1A or just one, tight end one. And then you got Ruckert as the blocking guy in jumbo packages, goal line, shit like that, which we need. Stone Smart is the athletic Isaiah Likely type. Kuntz, he's probably down in Tijuana, like, sipping a margarita or some shit with his 50K from last year. Sorry, Johnny.
He's trying to
I
save
mean,
up, save up to get a neck,
yeah, a neck
reduction,
short, yeah,
neck reduction right now.
He got shafted just like what's between his chin and his shoulder blades, just a shaft. Anyways, okay, let's go the other way. Play calling. Like, if everybody's just going to work on themselves and try to be as good as they can, then week one kicks off, and I still have Mason Taylor as one, and then the other two are just battling it out, and you're going to show us production. But like for me, looking at that room, Ruckert is the only one that has potential as a block. I mean, besides Mason Taylor, but like inline blocker, man. Just why we don't need him to be Conklin or whatever. Like, and we've seen his hands. Well, if they get better, we can trick people every now and then. Can we make him Ben Hartsock for the OGs listening?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it really feels make or break, right, for Ruckert, and
I think that make or break is sooner if they don't just tell him to change some shit. Do you?
um, yeah. There's no loyalty. That's the thing that we have to think about. And I've been preaching this ever since, I mean, January. Like, this is a new regime, and they have no loyalty to any of these players, other than the ones that they just brought in. So it won't take much for them to be like, this guy hasn't produced since he's been drafted. We didn't draft him. He's not our guy, and he's still not showing us anything that we want to see. So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if like they either try to trade him away or something, But um, so that's why I'm saying, man, it's make or break. Like, you better prove yourself to these coaches and show them that you can do this thing, you know. Um,
back to your point, the tight end I didn't watch it. I wish I wish I did, but like just your general question, not like jet specific, these four guys specific, like I think they if they didn't go, it's nil. If they do go, it's like potential 5% bump. If they all do that, that's fine. Then it's whatever. But I mean, I'll take it. But like at this stage in the game, they ought to be able to like they should have the experience, like Ruckert at least, Stone Smart. I'm sorry, I don't count Kuntz, but hey, if he wants to figure some shit out, sure. I mean, we got a 90-man roster for a reason right now. Yeah, I'm in the boat of like, don't trade anybody right now, don't cut anybody right now, send them all to camp, and let men figure it out. Um,
Yeah.
I-
Yeah. So I brought the question up, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that they're coming away with much from tight end university, right? But like you said, if it could amount to a 5% bump in productivity, that's great. If they walk away out of that camp and they've learned one thing that they didn't know before, one trick of the trade, one uh, when you plant this foot, if you don't swift your or turn your hips immediately and delay it, it helps you with your break or something stupid, whatever. You know what I mean? If you take away one thing and you got better, I'm all about it. So that I love seeing it is where I'm getting at. I love seeing that they're doing that. Um, if for nothing else, for camaraderie, all four of them went. And I mean, we're not really giving Kuntz any credit to actually be on the team, but he's probably still going to be around the team. He's going to be on special teams or he's going to be on the practice squad. He'll be there. So just get the group together, man. That's the tight end room, and get them together and, let these guys teach each other and learn together and learn how to play together and things like that, because we probably will have two tight end packages this year and quite a bit.
See, and maybe I'm higher than you, but like I think Mason Taylor and Jeremy Ruckert could form a nice little two-man punch. Again, I think if Ruckert's a good blocker, a better blocker than last year and the year before, if he's 5% better blocker even, and then new technique, no more Keith Carter, no more, I don't even know who our tight end coach was last year, but like fresh perspective. Help me. Oh, if it moves, hit it.
Yeah. If it don't move. Hey, listen, that was good times. That was good times. I'll always love Ron Middleton for that speech.
My point though, like, and I agreed, that was probably the best soundbite of the era. If Rucker, dude, like, I get it. Fields is your boy. You probably are expecting some targets this year, but like, I make you earn them. No block, no rock, bro. Because Stone Smart, I think, again, Isaiah Likely, maybe not that athletic, but like, I'm comfortable with the ball in his hands. You, eh, I don't want to chance it not getting into your hands.
Yeah, and that's the thing is you can be boys with Justin Fields all you want, but that doesn't mean that the coaches are gonna just give you reps just because you know the quarterback. Like that's not how that works. He's not Aaron Rodgers. He don't have that kind of pull, you know. So you got to get in there and you got to put in the work. And yes, like you mentioned the blocking and stuff. And it's funny because we all thought coming out of college that Ruckert was going to be an excellent blocker, and we were just more concerned with him developing as a pass catcher, right? And not only has he not really developed as a pass catcher, but to me, he's like regressed from college days blocking. You know what I mean? Like you get him out in open field and stuff. Yeah, he's aggressive. He'll try to level a guy and stuff like that. But in line, he needs some work, man. He really does need some work. He
I
became a
guess boomer bust for sure, for sure. I I I guess this year, like, and that's a lot of people are like 9-7, and I think we can get to 8-9 or 9-8 or whatever that is there in the middle. I think it's more important that you fully flesh out a lot of these second, third year guys, fourth year guys. Literally, we have so many guys in year 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6. But like that might be the most important part because we're not trying to win 9 games this year. We're trying to make the playoffs next year, you know? And the jury needs to be out on some of these guys. How many of their faults were bad coaching or immaturity or like all of it, all of that is correctable. We gotta like the last thing I want is a Zach Wilson third year where we don't quite know. He shows signs like fuck. Let's just get a full analysis. And I know Aaron Glenn loves his deep research and his analytics. Like September might be just feeling the players out. Who's good at what in under the lights, obviously. Who's good at what? Who can we trust in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes? Who can't we? Hopefully they figure out Gibson they can't trust in August. But all that's gonna be it's gonna take time. And that's why the most of the 9 and 8 crowd, though, I will say, I'm not like calling them dumb because like I said, that's the ceiling for me. They realize that it's going to be tough early, and we're all hoping, and I stress the word hoping, that the O-line gels around mid-season, and the schedule definitely weak. You know what? Good segue. Hold on, Murph. I got a snippet I can share with you, and I want to get you on it. See how fast I can pull it up.
Did
It'll
you just
be a
segue
good little.
yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Hey, that's talent. That's talent. All right.
It's hard too when you're rambling like, oh wait. But Leger Duzball made this prediction this week, and I want to know your thoughts on it, just perusing it.
All right. Well, if I knew how to work certain things, this would be nice. I cannot see the top two in the first two games
Hold on.
because there we go. There we go. It
Is that,
moved me. Now I can see it. Yay. All right. Anyway, so wow. Okay. Wow. All right. Leger, huh? 5-2 at one point.
I know the one thing I did hear him say about this was that after the Falcons game, the next 4 are pretty much rebuilding teams. And you know what that means late in the year. He doesn't have us winning all 4, but it's possible we could go on a little stretch there at the end. I don't know. And I saw this, you haven't, so I'm just going to pitch my take first. And I'm sure you agree. Well, weeks 1 and 2 are sus. But also like weeks 5, 6, and 7. I mean, I guess I could see that more than weeks 1 and 2. Because Panthers are the Panthers, Broncos are good, but it's in England, and the Cowboys. I feel like Sauce can help neutralize. Like I think we're a good matchup with Dallas, is what I'll say.
Well, it depends. Depends on the coaching staff because the Cowboys cooked us with. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the receiver's name. Anyway, they're moving them all over the field, and we didn't
Was
have
it
Sauce.
was it Brandon Cooks?
It was not Brandon Cooks. No, that
Well,
would be embarrassing if that was the case. But
Brian Schottenheimer, they're facing a regime change too, although he was there already.
yes, which means he's familiar with the offense. I never hated Brian Schottenheimer. I don't know why Jets fans hated him. I don't know. being an OC has got to be one of the hardest things in in the league, man. You get so much fire for trying to do your job. The first two, I can see the Steelers game. I cannot see the Bills game. Not that early in the season. We're not. Maybe at the end of the season. I know it's at at Buffalo, but they could be benching their players or whatever at that time. So this is just Leger. He's a bit optimistic for my blood, because even that 3-win streak, Cowboys, Broncos, Panthers, I can see us losing every one of those.
And you know what? That is the difficult part about this whole thing. Everybody wants to predict the schedule, but like they award wins based on who they think is favored in the game. But that's not how football works. You know, what I will say in Leger's defense is that while I don't think we'll be favored in many games, I I think we're going to be hanging with a lot of teams based on O line, running game, Fields' running game, and tough defense. So that's where I'm at with the whole. I think we'll go 500 but also like the defense has to be good, the O line has to be good, the running game has to be good, Justin Fields has to be deadly on the ground. Like a lot of ifs. So I don't agree with his specific game by game analysis, but I do agree that we can go 500.
Can I guess, but to me that's like the absolute ceiling. You know, um,
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
I'm just a little more pessimistic. I feel like maybe, but that's like the absolute ceiling, and that's like all pieces come together. I will say that I agree with you. I do see a feistier team like under Aaron Glenn, and I think like we're going to lose. Like yes, we're going to lose these obvious games like against the Bengals, but I see us losing 24-19 or something. You know what I mean? Like that's the type of losses I see out of us, and that's an explosive offense. But I think that our defense has the firepower to really hold them in check for the most part. But I just don't think Justin Fields has got enough in him to pull it off. Um, it's just yeah, I can see feisty, but I see losses, and I see more losses than what Leger is.
Can I get your take on Tyson's comment here, Murph? If you could read it first and then give me your take on it.
I just got to know what he's coming back to
For
because
the audio only listeners out there, can you state what it says?
Tyson Matting said Clemens is comeback player of the year. Glenn fixed him. And I don't know what he's coming back to because I doubt it's going to be the Jets next year.
It's like those hats that U Stadium is selling right now. It says "Make the Jets Great Again." When were they great?
Nine,
And
68.
for a hot second that none of us were born. Like,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, exactly. Because
literally
hang on to
2%
the
of
days. We didn't even go to a Super Bowl in those days. I mean, we don't have an AFC championship. We didn't even win the damn division either of those years. That's what's bad about it. We're hanging on. We look at Rex like he's a god or something, and we didn't even win the division. I
we
don't
were
like.
bad. We were mid in the regular season. We just went on miracle runs in January, man, because our team was ground and pound.
Yeah,
And
and
hey, does that lean into our favor of having a second half surge here?
I don't know, man. I don't know if it's enough though. Like, is running the football winning games like it used to? I just don't know. Um, but I just want to say, like, I think our boy Herm Edwards doesn't get enough credit because I know, when our guy Jake Asman brings him on the show, and he's brought Herm Edwards on there often. Um, that's how he or even whenever he does radio and stuff. But that's how he likes to say, "Oh, the last coach that brought the Jets an AFC East division title, and that's Herm Edwards. That's not Rex Ryan. That's not Eric Mangini. Sure in the hell wasn't Todd Bowles." you know.
My first 15 years of fandom, man, will probably never see another 15-year stretch in my lifetime. It was fun, man. Parcells, Mangini, Herman Edwards, Rex, like division, like 98, bro. It was awesome. Yeah. But then you had the 15 years after that that took all that away, and then some. I don't even need a 15-year run, man. I just want to see, like, I don't know. I guess I have to see it first, but like pencil us in for a wild card every year, and then if we get the right pieces in place and a hot run, we can snag a bowl once or twice, man. That's what I want. Like, I want our floor to be 9-8, not our ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, I just I want to be looked at like the Ravens, or maybe the 49ers or something. Just a team that's that they always have a chance to be in the playoffs, make a run and stuff like that. And a bad year for them is a wild card, you know. That's what I want to see. I want to be a team that's just respected, and we get absolutely no respect. RESPECT. Aretha, tell me what it means to me, because I don't know. We don't get it.
What gives me some faith before we turn the page on Leger's prediction here in the Danger Zone this Friday night live with Murph, guys, spike that like button. What gives me hope is that, like, national pundits 12 months ago had us favored in 14 out of 17 games. They saw the talent. Yes, it was a bit of Rodgers, but also it was mainly our core and what they did in 2023. We still have that core, and they have a year of embracing the suck and beat to a pulp. And like, I'm sure they're not looking at press clippings now after how well they did last year. Hopefully they just go back to the grindstone, including Brees Hall, who we talked about earlier. Like, just go be the best version of yourself. If every core player we had did that and it came true, we would be 500 without the role players, in my opinion. Call me crazy, but like, I do have, if Sauce, Garrett, Brees, Quinnen, Jermaine, AVT, those guys, they can carry this team. Can they all get their heads out of their asses? Like, because last year, dude, like, a lot of people forget how we felt after every game last season, dude. It was no player looked like themselves. None of them performed how they should have. It was like the danger zone or the twilight zone. Like, it was ridiculous. Just get back to what you should be playing like, and as good as you are capable of. Dude, we'll turn this around right quick.
Yeah, we had the wind taken out of our sails really early in the season, and then all of a sudden some leaks started springing in the ship, and we just started sinking as we went. It was rough, man. But I wanted to hit you with a question, and since Leger Douzable wanted to put out his optimistic little thing there, if we are to go 9-8, like our good buddy Leger said, tell me the most important thing that we need to improve on offense and the most important thing that we need to improve on defense for us to be able to go 9-8. What is Aaron Glenn and his staff focusing on improving?
It's funny because I think it's pretty much the same thing on both sides of the ball. Maybe that's a short-sighted of me because I'm thinking of this on the fly. But I think if you want to go 9-8, which again isn't even a high bar, man, you win one more than you lost. Like, but it sounds like a high bar because we've won 19 games over the last 3 years combined. Yeah, that's 6.33 wins a year. So 9 wins sounds like a lot. But the biggest thing, Chris B says penalties. I'm not with that because, like, I don't think that it will win us 4 more games. But I see where he's coming from. It will go a long way. My answer on offense is we have to win the trenches in the run game. Because, like you said, the beginning of last year, really the wheels came off. We were expecting to punch people back, and we didn't. Outside of week 3, New England, where we just cooked the shit out of them. But the O-line in the running game was bad. Brees, I don't hate Brees, but I was really disappointed in his performance because I feel like he alone could have made a huge difference in how we were doing in September. And he alone kind of killed some drives, killed some goal line dives. Run the ball better on offense. We have to. And this team, as constructed, has to run the ball better, whether you put that on the O-line or the running back. Got it. On the other side, same thing. Stop the run. The trenches have to win in the running game. I don't even care if we get the same amount of sacks again, but bro, we were gashed at times, and I'm not having it, man. Not when you have a $96 million defensive tackle. You have 2 first-round picks, one on his right, one on his left. I know he didn't last year, but now he will. Jermaine, Will McDonald, I don't give a fuck who's in his armpit. He's got 2 first-rounders and $100 million himself. You have to stop the run. That's my final answer. What is your answer to the same questions if it's not the same thing?
Well, I knew where you were going to go. I knew it. But I will say that on defense, I'm going to agree with you. I think that we, we just got gashed in the run game last year, and I think having Jermaine Johnson is going to help. And hopefully, whoever we put next to Quinnen, whether it's Naughty or whoever, hopefully they have their shit together and they're, helping out in that aspect. So that on defense, that seems like a duh thing. You know what I mean? I think that would help improve the entire defense. But I'm going to change it up a little bit on you on the offense. I understand implementing the run game a little better. Brees Hall gaining his vision back, I hope, or at least Tanner Engstrand making it easy on him. You know what I mean? Like LaFleur used to do. But I'm going to say what I want to see, and I think would help us, especially with the type of players we have on the team, like Justin Fields being there. How about some urgency? How about we get better and we improve at putting pressure on the defense? Like let's see some no huddle. Let's see some, we don't need to sit there behind center and make 32 different checks before, and let the defense get settled and let their, hearts calm down and stuff like that. Like, how about we put a little pressure on the team? It's like we get up there and then it's like, boom, ball snaps. Like they don't even know, they haven't had a chance to read the footing on the you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just like, let's put some pressure on the team. And you can do that and still be a run-heavy offense, especially when you have multiple options in order to do it. Like, we have 3 decent running backs. We have a quarterback that's explosive in the run game. We have, options that we can use, like end arounds to Arian Smith, whatever. How about we start putting pressure on the opposing teams? Come out, punch them in the mouth, keep punching them in the mouth until they're on the back foot and don't know what the hell to do. Next thing you know, their back's up against the ropes. And if anybody watches boxing, you know that's not a good thing. Having your backs against the ropes, man. So that's what I want to see. I was so tired last year of the slow starts, and I think a lot of that is the fact that we spend the entire play clock getting our shit together, and all that does is allow the defense to do the same exact thing, get their shit together, you know, and you spend all that time trying to get your shit together, and if you don't execute perfectly, it can all go to shit anyway, and you just wasted all that time. How about we just get up there, get our shit done, and hopefully we punch them in the mouth and connect. You know what I mean? Because then we're putting pressure on them. Let's say we start off the game 7-0 on our first drive. You know, that sets the tone for the game. So that's what I'm saying. I want to see our team learn how to put pressure on the opposing team. I want to see us start fast. I want to see some no huddle in there. I want to see us take some shots. I just want to see the increase in urgency and pressure. I don't know if I described that as well as I meant to, but yeah.
Hell yeah, baby! I'm bricked up. Uh, you know what's funny though? If we start off 7-0, what are the odds that old Mister Rogers' neighborhood figures it out in the first quarter of a whole new franchise, man? Because when you were saying all that, I was thinking to myself, man, maybe we will start 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, if we put the if we put the pressure on them and we start off early, punch him in the mouth, you know, it may he's going to spend all fucking 40 seconds of the play clock and stuff, and Sauce is going to be back there like I've been doing this before, like practicing against him all last year. Like he's like, I know what this is about, you know. I see all these checks that he's making. I know what he's doing. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying that there's a chance. I I could see us winning that game. I don't think that that means that we're going to have a better record than Pittsburgh next year. I think Pittsburgh is an intriguing team because I really don't know how Rodgers is going to fit into that because they're a very established organization, and I don't think that they're going to let him run things like he wants to. And I don't think their coordinator, oh man, names are eluding me tonight, but the dude from Tennessee and Atlanta, I think he's a pretty hard nosed dude. I don't think he's just going to let Rodgers run his offense like that. Like, I think he's going to say, hey, this is how we're doing it. Like, you go out there and do it.
Arthur.
Arthur Smith. Yep. That's it. Um, so I'm really intrigued to see how well that fits together. I can see it being a disaster. I really can. But, you know, if Rodgers buys in, I could see it actually turning out really well for him because they have a solid team over there. You know, they have an organization that knows what they're doing, and they always have a good defense. So that they are going to be an intriguing team this year.
Or I mean, here, let me just play devil's advocate. Or our defensive ends will do to him what Denver and Minnesota did to him last year to us, and we just crush him week 1, and he hobbles the whole rest of the year. And one could. I mean, that karma just deserves to happen, but will it? No, probably not. One thing's for sure, though. We got to blitz him. You have to blitz him. It's going to be the healthiest he's going to be all year. It's going to be the healthiest he's going to be, since COVID? Like, so you have to get him on his ass, and we'll do that. We'll do whole streams about week 1, man. I don't want that to take the ribbon here. I like what you said, in that, like, on offense, keep the defense guessing. When you let the play clock run down to 1, you said it. The defense gets time to adjust as well. I just like to add that not only do they get time to adjust, but they also know exactly when you're going to snap the ball, which means they can just, if they're a blitzing player on that play, they know exactly when to take off, which makes it way harder on the offensive tackle when you just telegraphed when to get off the play. So, Yeah, dude. I think a less sophisticated offense will go a long way. Did you say on defense what your answer was?
Oh, it was the same as yours. But I do want to say you're right as far as blitzing and things like that. I think that Aaron is the type of guy that can very well make you pay for it. But I think if you just keep it up, it will pay off in the end.
Just to segue a bit here, I did snag this tweet literally before I entered the danger zone. It says 1 minute ago because it literally was like 1 hour ago. What I find interesting about this is that Sauce retweeted it, yes. The sentiment, yes. But I find the most interesting part of this is that it's a 4 month old tweet. Like he just what was he doing? Was he searching shit like this? Was he that far back in his feed? I don't know. Did someone else retweet it and then it caught his attention? But like, bro, this is from March, and you choose now to tweet it. And again, if you're not watching with video on, or you have us in your ear pods and you're walking or something, let me just read to you the tweet that Sauce retweeted. It comes from none other than top 5 corner of all time, Deion Sanders, maybe the best playmaker of all time, although I'd argue Barry or Randy Moss maybe there. But Coach Prime says, because the dog corners need stand up for themselves and what they bring to the table, or sit down and watch what's happening happen. Y'all need to stand up, stand out, and believe in what you possess. And you can't hear it on the mic, but that was some goosebumps on my forearms there. Sauce took a moment to salute it. He likes that sentiment. Stand up say it with your chest, so to speak. What do you think on Dion's take on this? And does it move the needle at all for you, the fact that Sauce retweeted this? Buy me 60 seconds and talk to me.
I think that this could be. I mean, shoot, he could have had this tweet saved for a while and been waiting for a good time to put it out there, or retweet it or whatever. Maybe he had it pinned or screenshotted or something. Who knows? I think this could pertain to a lot of things. It could just be something motivational for Sauce, or it could be something to do with contract talks. Maybe he's putting it out there like, hey, I know what I bring to the table, and I'm not going to take anything less than what I know I deserve. So that could be it. I don't know. It's hard to tell what Sauce is gaining from that. I do like that. I think great players look to other great players, former great players, elite players, and see how they speak, how they act, how they carry themselves, and they truly do listen to them. Like I think guys like Sauce, like he really respects like the guys that were the greatest before, and he wants to be the greatest in the future. You know what I mean? He wants guys to look up to him, and things like that. So like Sauce, he pays attention to guys like Deion Sanders. He pays attention to guys like Darrelle Revis and I don't know, Charles Woodson, and all the goats and stuff from back in the day, because he knows he's talented, and he knows if he does the right things and he acts the right way and he puts in the right amount of work, he can be on that list. Um, so to me, this is Sauce just keeping an eye out, seeing what the greats are saying, and seeing if he can gain anything from it, even if it's just a smidgen. You know, um, I think that I think it's a good thing. I think it could, who knows why he did this, but I do like the fact that he's keeping an eye on the greats. You know what I mean? Like I think that it's just like how I was talking about tight end. Like if you come away with just the smallest thing out of it, to become better, you became better, and that's all that matters. That's something that Sala used to always talk about. Like, let's be better tomorrow than we were today, and then the next day better than we were tomorrow. And that's something that they preach a lot in coaching. And I think Sauce takes that shit to heart, man. So any little thing he can grab, he will take.
And you know what? I think he could take a slight lesson from Dion, and I know it's a slippery slope because you don't want him to be full on Dion, but I don't know. Maybe I do. Like, Sauce, I want to see your swag out there, man. Like, I want to, like, have you ever seen the dude dance after a play or some shit? Like, in my own intro, there is a clip of Aaron Glenn running back a pick six. He's like dancing, man, in the end zone. And I'm like, where are our guys that have swag, man? Like, when I can't remember the last player that like cradled their head on the way to the end zone, or like we had
That's the
Zach
thing.
Wilson doing.
You have to be in a position to be running to the end zone to do that.
Fair, fair. Hey, I mean, he picked off Aaron Rodgers in that Green Bay game, but they said it touched a blade of grass. That would have been a pick six. I'm not out on Sauce's ball skills yet, but yeah, I don't know. All I'm saying is like I could if I put myself in Sauce's shoes, I could go to sleep at night and think, man, I'd like to be like Dion in another life. Maybe I was, make a few more plays. I could be braggadocious. Hell, he's dating a rapper. Like, I think he wants to kind of be that guy, but like he has to manifest it.
I think Sauce has like I don't know how to. It's like a quiet swagger about Sauce. Like I think he does exude confidence, you know, but he's not very boastful. Like he's not super. Like he's not out there. He's not going to be the loudest guy in the room, but he's going to be a guy that people are going to look to and be like, this guy is. He's him, as they say or used to say. He's not going to be. I don't think he's ever going to be like a Dion. Like, yeah, he has a name. He has sauce, right? Like, and he has this swagger about him. He knows who he is. He's confident in who he is, and he loves who he is. Like, I think that's important. Um, but I don't think he's ever going to be the loudest guy in the room, just like constantly pumping himself up and like Dion having the nickname Prime Time. Like, that's such a like very I mean, say what you want about Dion, but it's kind of it's an arrogant nickname. You know what I mean? Like prime time. Like,
Dion is one of one.
but he is. But he always backed it up, and you can't say anything about it. Like you know what I mean? I'm not sitting here hating on Dion it by any means. I just think that they're totally different personalities. But I do think Sauce has a swagger to him, and I think he is a confident dude. And God, we're going to see him taking a pick six to the end zone, and you're going to see him break a little move too. I promise you. I don't know if it's going to
I
be this year. I think maybe it could be, but we're going to see it, man. We are.
I think more blitzing, check. Possibly shadowing elite receivers in crunch time, check. Him knowing that he has to tackle better, check, but also him knowing that he needs to do more than poke the ball away. Learning from a guy like Aaron Glenn, who was all up in your business as a corner. Four checks where I think Sauce does take a next step, and that's why I say pay him now. Does it? I mean, you can't predict picks. You can't. Some guys have 8, and then they have 1 and 0 and 3 and 0. Like you can't predict when you're going to have a boatload thrown your way. And also, like, we got to have a good CB2 in order for Sauce to get targeted. We do. Um,
Well,
but
okay.
I would buy a ticket just to watch Sauce though this year.
Oh, oh yeah. I think Sauce is an elite player, dude. It's plain and simple, and I think it would be stupid if we let him go. Who the names tonight are really, really eluding me. Who was the safety that we had from Tampa Bay? Um,
Whitehead?
hard hitter. Yeah, Whitehead. Okay. Whitehead had like 4 picks that one year, right? Or maybe 4 or 5. Like he had like 4 or 5 picks that one year. Um, how many picks of those do you think was like him playing elite coverage? Like, be honest with me.
Dude, how often is a safety covering a guy? You know, like I wouldn't say very many.
More than you think.
Okay, fair, but
And
wasn't it
also
a
zone
few?
coverage, but
There was a few that were on Josh Allen, weren't there?
yeah, and there was, I mean, he got thrown to like he was a receiver, and at least 3 out of them. It was bad. So picks they're not as they're not as I don't know how to put it volatile as fumbles, because fumbles, I mean, that's an oblong ball, dude. That thing can go anywhere. But picks are pretty volatile too. Like you can be complete booty cheeks and end up with 4 or 5 picks if you get the starting reps. Like just because the ball just gets thrown to you, gets knocked, it gets tipped, or it gets the quarterback gets hit as he's throwing it. It makes it go awkward, or the quarterback just doesn't even see you. And you're just standing there. You're not even covering. You're not even in the right position, and he just throws it to you because he didn't see you, or whatever it may be. Um, Picks are very like they're volatile too, man. So I I look at if a corner's good, like I just look at the how they are in coverage, like how they are in man, how they are in zone, like deflections, like being glued to the receiver, not allowing many yards after the catch, always being right there when they do catch it if they do. I just look at those types of things more than I do picks. Man, is you can't like if a player consistently gets 6 or 8 picks a year, like okay, there's probably something there. But they're just like I said, they're volatile. So I don't judge a player based on how many picks they get. If they're not getting a lot of picks, it doesn't necessarily mean they're a bad player. You know.
And I'm with you, and I like that caution tale because you know it's true. Um, what I will say is like Sauce is the he's the PD guy, and I'm sure most of you know what I'm talking about. For the ones who don't, like pass deflections, man, he is gonna get his hands. I mean, I think rookie year he had like 22 PDs. Insane, man, more than one a game. The problem, the real question comes into play, like because he can do that the rest of his career, or he can learn how to turn around and play the ball instead of the guy's hands going for the ball. So like I don't know if he can do both, but like there's going to come a point in camp or preseason or even maybe a year from now where like Glenn has to sit down with him and say, "Listen, your hand-eye coordination reflexes is amazing. We don't care if someone catches a home run on you. Like if you keep doing the PD thing, they won't." But and maybe that's not the right strategy. But what I'm saying is that's one road you can go. You can say, "Fuck it, give up a home run here and there. I would rather you play the ball and you can pick a few more off the other way." Or you can just say, "Screw the picks, eliminate the home runs." Like you've been like I feel like it's either or, and there's going to be a crossroads at one point unless he can somehow just on the spot develop and be able to know when to turn and know when to play the ball. Is that a bad take?
I Yeah, it's a slippery slope, you know. If you retrain a player to really start playing more on the ball than watching the receiver and his eyes and things like that, you're you are you're on a slippery slope there, because like if you're more concerned about getting turned around on time to get that ball, and then the receiver only like kind of faked with his eyes, and he's not actually, the ball's not there yet, and then next thing you know you're on your back foot and you can't keep up with the receiver and he burns you. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that you're okay if you give up a touchdown or two, a long play or two, if you can get a few more picks out of it. I guess I get that, but like that just really isn't Sauce's game. So um, I don't know. Like retraining a corner on how he does things feels a little dangerous to me.
You know what the move is? It's to get a better safety.
There you go. And that's something we've been preaching. And we do have Cisco, so I'm hoping Cisco can make a little bit of an impact. Um, I would love to have a stud safety again. I know we went too far with it when we drafted Jamal Adams and Marcus May, um, but can we just have like one stud safety? You know, I'm not asking for much. We just
Or
didn't
you
put
know,
any safety position up until, you know.
we were bring a safety up within the ranks instead of let's go get a guy who's even already mid to turn, like I don't know, like Chuck Clark was, but he's a tackler in the box guy. We needed like a rangy guy that's already, he's not 3 years away like Tony Adams, you know, like I don't know, man. But Yeti, he's chiming in on this debate because it's an interesting one. Yeti says I'd prefer the minimal looks, zero tutties over 8 picks. I mean, at least you would know what you're getting week in and week out, you know. But also, like, if he can figure out how to do both, then maybe you can red light, green light him, you know? That's what I would like to see. Like situationally play the ball. The rest of the game you're poking it out. Well, like I said, we'll get into that. That's another one we'll table because we have August. Yeah, I skipped over July. July will actually have tangible stuff like positional battles, where we document heavily how Gibson is cut and Clemens is cut. And like Rich in the chat said, our thicker kicker is just beefing balls over the yellow stripe. Stuff like that we'll have to talk about. But we have kicked the can down the road enough, Murph. We had 10 in here for quite a while. Now we're up to 15. I think it's the perfect time to bust out what the show is about tonight. It's not, it's not cutting edge stuff, but I think it's a little fun. So let's get into that now. This show, again, I said earlier that kind of Green Bean's whole vibe, at least the parts I like about Green Bean, kind of inspired this for me. And the reason why I say that is because I've been a literal 4-year Green Bean subscriber. And the one unique thing about him, there's people with more subscribers. There's many with more subscribers than Green Bean only has like 10 or 12,000, maybe 13,000. There's guys with 3 to 4 times more than that. Okay. But the thing about a Green Bean stream is you're going to learn a little bit about him. And maybe after 4 years, you know everything about him, but he's got some stories, man. When we started out with this, Murph, sorry, I'm kind of long-winded here. When we started this out, though, I said that most of my good stories would be reserved for when super chats are open. Not because I'm in it for that, but just because, like, by then, like, I don't know. I just feel like by then you have an established audience. You have the people that, like, have gotten to know you a little bit and shit. And, like, we got our little crew going. So, like, tonight I want to rip that Band-Aid off a little bit because we are, as Scott mentioned, we just hit 420 subscribers for the second time this week. Yeah, there's one of you two fuckers out there that literally subscribe every Friday night and then unsubscribe on Saturday. Thank you for that. by the way. You just want to join our chat and then leave. I see you. But we're back at 420. All right. So we got 80 more, like literally. The mission for this channel has never been to get thousands. Literally just want to open up super chats and then stay in between 500 and 1,000, because those are the streams I like the most, when there's 10 to 15 to 20 people in the chat. You can really engage with the host, really chop it up. That's what I'm looking for. But we got to get to 500, man. It's been over a year. We've probably been doing this for 420 days, and we have 420 subscribers. So I'm hoping the next 80 days, when we're trying to work our way to week 1 there, that we can get the rest of the way. I can just flip on super chats, and then, hey, if you 80 want to leave again, that's fine, because I already got that light switch on. But we're gonna tell you 2 truths and 1 lie about ourselves. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take turns, and we're gonna pitch it like it's a truth, no matter what it is. So I'm gonna say something like it's factual. It's something about me. Murph can comment on it, or he cannot comment on it. The chat can definitely comment on it. Then I'm going to pass it to Murph. He's going to do the same thing. He's going to tell us something that's he's telling you like it's true. Then I'm going to do it again. He's going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. And then he's going to do it again. That's 3 apiece. And we're going to try like hell not to tip you off which one is the lie that we've each said, because we're each going to say 2 true things and 1 lie. Y'all know the game, but if you don't, now you learned it. Your job at the end will be to figure out which of Dano's 3 pitches are factually inaccurate and which of the 2 are true. Same thing with Murph. And then when we get to 500 subscribers, you can learn more about the truths, but you got to stick around to find out about that. But anyways, without further ado, let's do it, man. Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first, man?
I'm gonna have you go first. I'm a gentleman. I'm gonna have you go first. I want to see I want to see how deep you.
Is this shirts versus skins?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, if you're in the chat, man, thanks for hanging. It's Saturday night, or it's Friday night. We are 3 weeks from training camp. We could literally chop up the 1 nugget of the week that 13 other channels you guys watched already did. But honestly, we just gave you an hour and a half of content. We would rather do something a little different. And here we go. I forget let's see, which was my lie and which was my truth. All right, let me see here. I got I did make a graphic. I'm going to show you guys the graphic at the end. So like if you tune out one of us, you'll get to see the whole list at the end, and you can guess again. All right. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do it like this. All right. If you're still here, if I didn't just scare you away, spike that like button, please. You'll get more people in here to chop it up with you. If you do that, you will. You'll also get more people in here on Friday nights if you comment on this live stream after it's ended. Nobody does that. There's a few, but most people don't. If I upload a short, like it, comment, and more people will be here on Friday nights if you like my short. It's weird, but bro, it happens. Anyways, my job is to trick the chat and you, Daniel. I mean, you know me more, so I think we'll leave it to them guessing because, But here's my first take. All right, you ready for this, chat? Let's see. Put my face on. I should have died in 2019. I should have died. And I feel like I should give you a little more than that, as my dog it doesn't like that take. But I had 3 different seizures that year, and all 3 were self-induced, if you know what I mean. Like I said, I'll elaborate later down the road. But yeah, dude, and luckily all 3 times I was with other people. So 6 years later, haven't had one since, man. That year though, 2019, right before COVID, there's no way I should have escaped it. That is my first in the game 2 truths, 1 lie. Murph, you are now up, brother.
Yeah. So I don't know about Dane. I'm just going to spit 3 truths at you guys. You can deny all you want, but you know, um, mine is a little less serious than than that. Dane, you really dropped a bomb on us, buddy. I am glad that 2019 ended the way it did, or else we wouldn't have this show that we do right now, and we wouldn't have the fun that we do on Friday nights. So, cheers to your health, sir. So my first truth is actually in high school. At least I don't know if it goes that way for everybody in the nation or whatever. I'm not going to pretend to know how it works, but usually prom you can only go as a junior or a senior. I actually went to prom 3 times. I actually had an older girl, I guess it would be at the time, wasn't a lady yet. Well, pretty much. A senior asked me when I was a sophomore, and I was able to go because of that. So I went 3 times to prom, which was, a good time. As a sophomore, I didn't even drink yet. I didn't start until the summer after my sophomore year. So that was, a lot of people go to prom, they get sloshed and stuff. So I was a little like, whoa, like this is what this is like. Okay. Pretty interesting. But
Can you take a question, sir?
okay.
Did you
Questions
have
away.
your license during that first one?
No, I have a late birthday. I'm a July birthday, so I was 15. Did not have my license.
Limo?
I had my permit. You know,
Take a
huh?
limo?
Bro, I grew up poor, man. We didn't do all that. We
Okay.
didn't do
All
all
right. All
that.
right. You know what? I feel the chat can weigh in whether they think it's true or a lie. Murph, you went to 3 proms, and they weren't all your senior year, is what you're telling me.
Exactly. Yep. Sophomore, junior, and senior.
I like it, brother. That is. Hey, you don't have to judge it yet, Chad. I know some of you have already dropped some answers about my first take. You're about to spit one on Murph's first take, but feel free to do that, please. But you also get the right to change your mind once you hear all 3. Because I mean, Murph, the next 2 things Murph say might both be lies. So then But I'm just kidding.
All truth here, baby.
All right, now this next version of myself that I'm about to introduce you to might not hit with some of the audience. And I just realized that looking at some of the list of names, but I still feel like my point will get across in the end. And that's, again, this stream of the sharing of self inspired by Green Bean. Keep that in mind. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But version of Dano number 2 says that so I'll give you the backstory after, but version number 2 says he loves Drake and Kendrick. And for those of you who don't know, they're both artists and they're having one of the biggest public feuds of the last 12 months. There's a lot of people picking sides. I like them both, man. Drake was epic after I graduated high school. He was good for 10 years. Kendrick's great now. I like them both, and I refuse to choose between the two. Whether or not you think that's true or not, you're going to have to tell me here in about 15 minutes. But, bro, I'm surprised that you don't see Drake and Kendrick heart posters behind me. All right. So, all right, Murph. Time for.
You just enjoy both, huh?
Well, dude, best I ever had. Best I ever had.
Okay. I think well, one ran the rap game for a while. The other one came out guns a blazing. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see how that beef ends up ending if it hasn't already ended. I don't know. So the next thing, I already forgot what I had even put down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the next thing I had is that a lot of you guys that have listened for a while or just BS with me in chats and other streams or whatever, you know that like I joke around and say I'm a Coke dealer, professional Coke dealer, your friendly neighborhood Coke dealer. I work for Coca-Cola. I deliver. I drive a big truck. Uh, it's always stocking and stacking and throwing cases of Coke and whatever, you know. That is my current career. Uh, I have had other careers prior to that, and one of them I was a butcher. Used to cut meat, right? For a local grocery store. I was not working at like a slaughterhouse or anything, but for a local grocery store. So I've cut, I cut meat for years actually. Was an assistant meat manager before I quit and went on to other endeavors. And then of course I live in West Virginia, so deer hunting is a big thing out here. So I've also, worked at other shops and helped out cutting deer up and things like that too. But yeah, one of my actually quite a few careers, I was a butcher. I used to cut meat several different ways, grinding, slicing, whatever, wrapping, whatever. Did it all, man.
Murph, have you ever beat that meat or maybe just stood in the freezer and punched it a few times?
Yes. If you must know, it was not like the Rocky cow hanging beef hide, cowhide thing like that. We didn't get it we had it more sectioned out, sent to us on the truck. Uh, but yeah, there was times where, a little frustrated, had to get it out of my system.
Yeah.
Back, nobody can see you back there, right? So just get it out of your system real quick. Yeah. So the meat beating did happen a time or two.
We don't talk
Do
about it
not
though, right?
do not clip that.
I
uh,
have to clip it with your title down there with the 3 proms with the older women. Hey, we don't know, man. Maybe one of these could have already been alive from Murph. We have to hear his third one, right? Snowball joining us late asks, "Is the Murph portion, the get to know Murph portion of the show?" This is the get to know Murph portion of the year, guys. So please weigh in. He's pitched 2 versions of Murph that you think might be real, might not. You have to hear his third one first. Give him a minute to weigh in on that. Now you get to hear my third one, man. If you didn't hear the first 2, I spit a little bit on each one, but my first one, let me double check my list here. As my shoe squeaks on my chair, I promise I was not pulling a Gorman. My first one, I should have died in 2019. Serious, I know. Serious is a heart attack, but
you jumped right.
Right into it, baby. I've been waiting a year to do this stream. No, the real stream is when I chop up the 2 truths on a live stream, but you got to stay subscribed to enjoy that one. Anyways, I should have died in 2019. Did that catapult into what we now know as COVID-19? We'll never know. Number 2. Hey, dude, we're having fun, man. It's June. Number 2, as I now got to look at the list again. Oh, I love Drake the rapper and his mortal enemy Kendrick Lamar both equally. And
I
again,
want them to end peacefully.
do I like one of the two? Do I like 0 of the two? I'm telling you, this version of Dano likes both. All right, number 3, which you're now hearing for the first time. Maybe the most explosive of the 3. Maybe the craziest, the definite lie. You're all ready for this? Wait, what am I doing here? The most explosive. We are live here in the Danger Zone.
Y'all ready for this?
All right. Dude, I was so late on that. And that's what people don't get. Like when you're live, it fucking sucks, man. You better be on point the whole time. Number 3. I was once shackled to a bench for 3 days against my will.
Shackled to
Stacey,
a bench. Was this a crime? Is what I need to know.
you know what? If you can stay subscribed to 500 subscribers, you will hear all about it. But it could also be my lie. All right, Murph. No pressure, but your third one's up next.
You're really dropping some bombs here, okay? Mine are a little more lighthearted. What a life you have lived, Dane. If it's true, of course. So I just have to confess, hi, my name's Daniel. In less than 2 weeks, I will be 34 years old, and I do not know how to play any instruments. Nothing.
Not the skin flute?
I would even struggle with a recorder. I'm going to ignore you ever said that, Dane. I do not know what a C flat is. I do not know how to read music. I do not. Nothing. Nothing. Can't play guitar. I have friends, good friends of mine that are in bands, like bands that are, that do well for themselves. Literally play music for a living. Go to their shows, enjoy their shows. Know nothing about what they're doing other than, hey, that sounds good. That's all. That's all I know. Do not know how to play a single instrument. Nothing.
With as large of a role as the Deliverance played on your life, you never learned the banjo or the harmonica, Murph?
The banjo comes out of my mouth naturally. I do not know how to play it though. So,
Fair. Hey, that's a good admission there, man. So here's what I feel like we need to do, man, because I feel like we both shared quite a bit. Actually, I think we both 2/3 shared quite a bit, if that makes sense. What I want to do is I want to recap real fast. Let me see if this works. Technology never does for me. All right. Boom. All right. 2 truths, 1 lie, in order to get to know the hosts of the Danger Zone a little more than you did yesterday, man. And again, this is the tip of the iceberg, but I need you and about 80 more to come along with us on this ride. We're trying to do this 500 thing by week 1. It's really not that much. Dude, do you have a grandma that you can just steal her phone, subscribe, and she won't even use YouTube again? You won't even know? Anyways, here's the recap. I did put this graphic together because I do believe in giving visual aid to people, because literally, bro, I was working construction all week, and one thing I realized is I'm a visual learner. Like, you tell me steps verbally only, and I kind of get lost in the weeds. If you can show me it though, like show me and tell me at the same time, dude, I can replicate it all day. So I feel like I'm not the only one who's that way. But there are a lot of channels that only give you verbal. I'm not one of them. Murph, you're not one of them either. We always try to do graphics for you guys. Here's one. It's a small one, just a little something, something. This is the recap of the last 20 minutes of the show. This is our 3 iterations of ourself. And now it's up to you, chat. I didn't get to highlight all the takes you guys have had, but I'm going to try to skim for some of them that were great. Starting now, though, I need to know, viewers of the Danger Zone, this Friday night, June 27th, which version of Dane would fail a lie detector, and which version of Murph would? And I want to know who guesses right on both fronts. How is it going to be? Everybody? Is it going to be nobody? Am I a worse liar than Murph? Is Murph a better liar? Like, we're going to learn a lot here. And here, I was on a different screen. I'm now going to the chat for the first time. Murph, did you spot anything in the chat that not the new stuff, but like that I missed that you thought was good, or just curious as I fumble through the new stuff here? Murph, you are muted, my friend, and I don't think I did it.
You're right. You're right. Yeah, they're acting out in the chat. That's what they do.
That's ideal, man. That's the
I
funnest
don't know
Friday
what you
night.
want to put on the screen or whatever, but there's some things on there.
I just want to hit what Yeti said earlier. He says, I just want to give a quick shout out to Dane's brim game. Flat brims are for teenagers. I feel like they're for teenagers. And I haven't read the rest of your comment yet, Yeti. Maybe it's a mistake to comment halfway through, but I feel like flat brims are for teenagers and dudes with fat heads. Anyways, it's meant to keep the sun out of your eyes. Respect from this old timer. You know what? I have one flat brim these days, Nick's, and I feel awkward every time I try to wear it because, for one, it's either sitting like this or it's sitting like this. There is no like perfect angle. You're either looking like fucking Gilligan or I don't even know who else. But or you're looking like Ricky New York. Yeah.
I absolutely love this hat, but it's a flat brim. Fucking love this hat, and I don't wear it, man, because I'm not a. I try to wear it sometimes, and I don't know. I don't love it, so it is what it is. Still love it.
I feel like again, I feel like it looks great if you're looking at it from the right angle. And I think the way the camera sits, it just looks stupid on screen, because you're always looking at the bottom of the brim, But if you were like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, we could get in a whole diatribe about that. But for my head shape and shit, like, yeah, Yeti, I didn't mean to please you with my brim choice, but I'm glad I did. Good.
Speaking of Dane, are you a big hat guy? Do you have a lot of hats?
So in PA, I have like 10 or 15 still stranded. Now that I moved to Oregon, I still have to go back for some of my stuff. I've had to replenish my collection. So like now I've got 10 or 15 here. And when I combine them all, yeah, I'm going to have 25 to 30. but they're all sports. 90% of them are sports. What about you though? Do you have any like? Well, I mean, I guess I have a few Hurley hats.
Yeah.
Talk to me. Where are you at with your
I,
hat game?
yeah, also a big hat guy, which is funny because I don't even wear them as much as I used to. Um, Especially whenever like you consistently get haircuts and stuff like that. You don't want to like just get a haircut and then put a hat over it. So I don't know. But I literally like have I got 4 fucking hats just beside me, just because like, hey, I don't know. I just whatever. Fucking Pirates hat, Jets hat, WVU hat, other Jets hat. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I have an entire stack, like an entire stack downstairs. I just put them inside of each other, and then I have them stacked up on something. I need to. I have a couple hat racks that I need to mount on the wall, and they won't even hold all my hats, but it would be nice to at least put some of them hanging up. Yeah, so big hat guy. It's funny. Like I walk through the mall and like I see lids, and I'm like, I go in there and I'm like, no, I don't need a hat. No. But a lot of times I end up buying one.
You know where I draw the line though? I won't pay more than like 28 for a hat. And a lot of them that are sweet are like 40 plus. I won't do that, man. Maybe I'm old that way, but like fuck $50 for a hat, man. With tax.
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. It really is getting a bit out of hand. And then the last couple of hats that I bought actually wasn't even for myself. I got my son Jace a couple hats, and you can now like they can embroider stuff on it, like a name or something on the hat. So I always get that done for him because he likes that. And then you add the fee for them doing that to the hat also on top of the hat itself, and next thing you know, you got $50 sunk into it, and it's like, geez Louise, man. So like, I don't know.
I
I'm
don't.
not.
I'm weird. Like, I'll buy 5 things for $20, but I won't buy 2 for 50. Like I have a ceiling on, if that makes sense. Like I have a ceiling on individual items more so than total price. As I get older, I'm just like $20, whatever. That's a single bill, like carry 20s, whatever. $50, man, I better love it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
As minimum wage in this state gets up to $15 an hour, maybe I should come off my high horse and just say, fuck it. Inflation is real and $50 is the new 20. But I'm having a hard time. I'd rather have 5 things for 100 than 2.
Yeah, I'm the same way too. It's like when you look at the total, sometimes you get turned away from it. You know what I mean? Even if you're getting a better deal than if you were to buy a single or whatever, like I'll end up spending $30 on one instead of 50 on two because I'm just like, man, I don't want to drop $50 right now. You know what I mean? There's a point where I start getting stingy with my money.
All right.
So
I feel vindicated then because I'm like $50. That's like a whole cell phone bill. Like.
yeah, I do prepaid, dude. So yeah, that
Yeah.
almost
Same here.
yeah, that's the way to
Same
go.
here, dude. I have never done the whole. Well, I can't say that, but I've learned my lesson there. I guess I pay like $40 a month and whatever. I don't have unlimited, but I have like 15 gigs and I'm on Wi-Fi for most of it. So. But anyways, dude, we're beating around the horse here. I'm sure the people are dying to know. They're dying to know. Let me get through the rest of the comments. I want to see. Okay, final answers, guys. Which Murph is a Pinocchio, and which Dano is a Pinocchio? I need to know now. I mean, I guess the normal Dane is Pinocchio. Actually, if you see me.
You need a nose now.
Nick Shine's missing toe said he needs 9 friends. Well, I think he found 9 friends here in the chat, maybe 10 in addition to himself. Man, you found us here on Friday night.
I'll be a friend.
Hey,
NSMC.
bye.
Oh, you're gonna
Get
ask me.
by with a little help from my friends.
Did Little
Um,
Piggy Park it? And I never came back.
Rich, that was a good hack question, just a small thing, but like I love when a small thing turns into like a real 10-minute Rich chimes in. He says he only wears Jets hats.
Wow.
Um, I think Rich also wears bald head caps because, like, I'm pretty sure his hair is like massive. So quit lying,
He's got,
Rich. I see.
got a undercover fro. Yeah.
I see your Pinocchio ass. Don't give me that.
I
um,
got a few Under Armour hats. I got a couple Hurley ones, like you said. I even have a couple. I mean, I have some Coke hats, of course. And
some
I
booger
think
sugar hats.
no, yeah, yeah, Coca Cola. But I think I also have a couple other random hats. Like I have one that's like a boy dad or something like that. A girl bought me one time. I don't know, but it was cool. It was really sweet of her. So I have it, and every once in a while I'll wear it. But I'm a hat guy. I like hats.
Before we get into the final morsel we want to drop on these folks, which is the answers to this two truths, one lie. By the way, does my airplane look like a plus sign? Anyways, Scott wants to ask you, Murph, true or false? I owned a West Virginia University hat at one point.
I'm gonna say that that's true because I know Scott enjoyed the shit out of himself in Morgantown a time or two in his life, and I think that would be worth buying a hat because you can have a hat's worth of time in Morgantown. That's for sure.
You know what? I'm going to give a bonus answer that's probably false. Yours is probably true, but my bonus point is going to be that he got it during the Tavon Austin era Mountaineers.
Ooh, yeah, I don't know.
It
Mm,
might have been after he was there, so it's a tough
maybe
one.
maybe I'm gonna say it's more like the Pat White, Steve Slayton days of Mountaineers that he had it, and Pat McAfee, of course.
You don't, Murph, have you ever played like a piccolo or anything?
A
Just a
pick.
random question. Yeah.
What the hell's a piccolo?
I don't know, a Brian Piccolo. It's an instrument, man. I was just, has nothing to do with our show at all. I'm just a
No,
random question.
clearly not. You thought that you were going to get me there, huh?
Yeah, talking a little Brian song on a Friday night here in the Danger Zone. Yeti, and hey, Chad, I'm sorry I'm making you guys wait, but you're all chiming in on this hat debate. I gotta give that attention because there's no going back after we rip this scab off. Yeti, hats pile up quickly. My mother-in-law buys me a hat, usually some dorky Jets one, for everything: birthday, Christmas, Father's Day, anniversary. I'm loaded. So am I, Yeti. They just hang on my wall, but I always hug. Good to know, Yeti. All it takes is a hat for to get a hug out of you. Okay.
I'm in. I'm in.
uh, you know what? Let me go through
I'm
these a
gonna
little
take.
faster. Scott, I have enough hats to last the rest of my life, and I probably dumped 10 or 15 when I made this move. Dude, moving is no fucking joke. People, if you've never moved or you've only moved like once, you're lucky because the amount of shit you lose that you don't even want to lose just in the process, or, it just sucks, man. I lost all my Pokemon cards one time, and they were like my real childhood one. Yeah, dude, it breaks my heart every time I think about it. Anyways, Rich, Rich with a great comment here. There is no Dane was not shackled for 3 days. You guys are crazy. Um, so you must love Kendrick and Drake, right? Got to, and he definitely almost died in 2019. Um, all right. As Murph sends me his private guess, um, he's actually wrong. Um, just to give him a little nugget, Murph. Okay, so Scott's answer here, final answer from Scott. So he says, Murph, the prom is the Pinocchio. The prom is the lie. He doesn't believe it. There's no way you took a girl that was older than you and you didn't even have a license or a limo. What the hell? Did she drive you? Don't answer. Don't answer. We still got more people to guess. But I'm with you, Scott. Who the hell took them? Was it Murph's mom and dad? I got to find out. Dane shackled. No way. It's a good guess, Scott. Dude, you might take the cake with this set of answers here.
Or maybe you
And
won't.
if only one person gets this, I might have to send them a little something. Let's see who Scott, that's your final answer. I like it. Rich laughing his ass off. If you've given us one answer, I'm not going to count it unless you give us both together. So send us one message with your answer for both of us, which is the lie. You can even just say what the word in yellow is to make it easier. Snowball chiming in. Murph, if you want to chime in at any point, I'll stop talking, but I'm just going to keep rolling through these chats. Snowball says, Murph, you were not a butcher. Bullshit, dude. You got your guns from punching something other than a dead carcass. He also says that Dane hates Drake and Kendrick. Snowball, after my heart. Oh, no. Maybe not.
No, Dane loves NF.
And you also know I love Eminem, and Eminem has sang with Drake. And he performed with Kendrick at the Super Bowl, of all places. If Snowball thinks that I hate that music, he thinks the other two are true, which I find interesting. Again, this stream inspired by Green Bean. Yeti up next. What's he got to say here? Okay, more hat stuff. I'm going to skip the hat stuff for now. And I appreciate you guys chatting it up about the hats. That's fine. That's another thing I hate about small streams is when every comment gets highlighted. So I'm not going to do that. You guys can chop it up amongst yourselves about the hats. No problem. But I do agree with what Rich said. An old hat. Dude, one thing about a hat that I love the most is when you don't see anyone else wear it. And you guys have seen me wear this hat 200 times, and few of you pointed out, but I just love it, man. Just something about it. It's not all black. It's
Good
got
old
leather.
broken in hat. Yeah.
Love it. But major bonus points if you don't see other people wearing it. And that one gets it for me. And it feels great. Scott saying bingo, Murph. It must have been the Pat White, Steve Slayton era, I'm guessing, according to the time.
My first guess of him saying, shit. This is my first guess. What did I say?
Oh, wait, here we go. Scott, I was at the table.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're
both
are
right.
the champ. Yeah, okay, fair. Okay, got a final answer here from Rich. Rich is saying shackles and instrument. Ooh.
Wonder what instrument Rich thinks I can play. I can play a beer can, that's for sure.
I feel the need to, I'm going to save all these final answers from people that way. I was going to say let's ding 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 when they're right, but that could fail. So let's just wait. I will say I haven't seen one for me that was, I don't think, right. Well, we'll see. I don't want to give it away because I've only gotten 2 full answers so far as I catch up. Actually, I am caught up. Snowball. Murph, can you message me your lie?
Oh. Oh, that's right. You don't even know. We don't know, guys. Like, honestly, we don't. Like, I was trying to guess Jay. I was trying to guess his, but yeah. So anyway, I told all truths. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
All right. So Snowball guessed earlier. He was not 100% accurate. Scott guessed earlier. He was not 100% accurate. Rich guessed. He was not 100% accurate, guys. Anyone in the chat who hasn't guessed, Chris B, Yeti, you might have guessed and I missed it. Get yourself a koozie to enjoy while we stream every Friday night, 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. Eastern Time, by picking the right two yellow words on screen, which means MURPHH and I's lies. And you know what? I'll just give you like 2 or 3 more minutes. And if not, we're just going to rip it off the Band-Aid, man. Cause it's everyone doesn't need a participation trophy, right, Murph? Also, Scott's saying he had a Cincinnati Reds hat that he wore for years, played tons of ball in it, fishing in the rain one day. That thing was bleeding motor oil. But when it comes to you, Murph, Scott said he wanted to go with instrument, but then he thought, how would you go to the prom if you couldn't drive? I think he's trying to say. Can you give us maybe 1 or 2 scenarios where you could have attended prom without your license? Because I can think of a few, but I'm just curious what your mind will come up with when trying to prove you aren't lying about that one. Huh?
There's so many ways that you can go. Like, first of all, I said that she asked me. Okay, guys, I'm just putting that out there. Second of all, did we not know any other people that knew how to drive? I mean, come on.
Fair
Could be
point.
her parents, could be my parents, could be her. Maybe she rented the limo. I'm not going to say what happened. I'm just saying that there is so many options out there.
You know, a good point, because I went to prom probably. I think I have went to prom 3 or 4 times even. And I didn't drive for all of them. Group dates, all going to the same place, very easy to make happen. I think sophomore year, I think I went in same situation, tagged up with a junior. But then later on, we were just like, man, let's just throw $30 and we'll just all get a limo or whatever. But yeah, it can logistically, it can happen easily without a license. So if I were to guess that one for you, Murph, I don't think the transportation is what I would say is the reason why. I'm not giving anything away here. I'm just like analyzing your 3 things. I would say butcher. I could see that for sure. Maybe not for long, but maybe for long. I don't know. Instruments. I don't think that's far fetched, man. I think there's probably people in the chat that can relate to you when you pitch that, like C flat, D clef. Like, who the hell knows? But like, okay, recorder. Okay, I think I can play a recorder though, so maybe it is a lie. Proms. I mean, if you were in New York, I could easily say that's a lie because I don't know. But in West Virginia, I think you were a social fellow and your kind of people. Maybe you went to 4 or 5 and that still is a lie. And I was just stalling. Last catch up on the chat and then we're giving the answers, guys. So put it in now. Scott's saying that you carried your date on your shoulders.
I may have picked her up at some point in time. I will not divulge into any details.
Rich says that Daniel is jacked. No lies detected.
Thank you.
Yeti says he went to prom with the prettiest girl in school. She was like a sister to me, though. Small town. I did get laid, but not by her.
Hey, a
Not.
win, the win, Yeti. Okay.
Hey, you got the pictures with the hot girl, and then yeah, okay, fair.
You just
Uh,
took the try on it. It's okay.
Chris B, true or lie? Chris B deserves a wrench. Just true, dude. We get. I don't know if anyone else has donned you one yet, Chris, but I hope if they haven't, that we just set the trend last week when we gave you one, and now you end up with 5 because you do deserve it, man. If anybody promotes Jets content and Danger Zone content, especially across channels, man, you are definition of mod, man. A plus, truth, facts. You deserve it.
We appreciate you, Chris.
Scott, I went to prom in my Mach 1 Mustang. Scott, also, I don't play an instrument. And Scott agrees Chris was speaking the truth.
Not that
Um,
playing an instrument. I'm just saying.
all right, Murph, time is upon us. Will you spit the take like you did the first time of the lie?
Okay, so the lie is actually I did not go to 3 proms. I did not. I actually went to 0 proms. Believe it or not, I did not go to a single one. That does not mean I did not go to after prom parties, but I did go. I did not go to any proms. Just I don't know. I guess I wasn't lying when I said I grew up poor, so I didn't really have money for a lot of that stuff, and I just never bothered even dealing with it. You know.
So, once again, chat, the Murph lie. He did not go to 3 different proms. You heard it here in the Danger Zone. Spike that like, subscribe. I don't know. We were at 420 subscribers. I'd like to get to 421 in case we lose one along the way. But all right. Without further ado, I'm going to speak into existence my lie. And let me see, get this right here. All right. All right. Here's my lie. I love both Drake and Kendrick.
I knew it.
And I just want to elaborate on that. Everybody's picking sides, and I don't like either of them. Drake is I better not expand on that if I want to eventually get super chats, but Drake is a creep. And if you've ever listened to Kendrick rap, dude, his voice, I can't, man. It's too corny for me, and every song sounds the same. But I live in a house with people who love him. Everybody who's under 30 right now and listens to hip hop loves him. Mainly, I don't know if it's more so that the fact that he's cooking Drake, but yeah, you know what? Just give me Eminem and NF and Tom McDonald and Dax, dude. Dax is awesome. Dude, there's a lot of good guys, a lot of independent guys. Drake is just commercial bullshit, and so is Kendrick. Yeah. Hot take. I don't like Kendrick because that is a hot take these days. Means that Murph, you were a butcher. We learned that. We learned that tonight, man. You also cannot play any instruments. Care to weigh in on either of those facts for us?
I will here and just. I was trying to look up a song. Damn it. Of course, you can never find the songs that you're looking for. Anyway, um, yes, I was a butcher for 3 years. I was not lying at all. I was the head butcher or the assistant meat manager before I quit and went on to work at a pharmaceutical plant I did an apprenticeship to learn how to cut meat, and I cut meat for like 3 years. Like I said, we weren't cutting hanging, cows. We weren't cutting them down like that. I worked in a grocery store. We got it shipped in big sections, and we would cut them into whatever people wanted. We used bone saws, we used slicers, we used knives. I could even go down. I still have my butcher knives. I got a big long 12-inch knife that I used to cut meat with. I still have it downstairs. And I used to cut up deer too, So, yeah, pretty useful skill to know how to do. I can go to certain stores and get a whole loin of anything, for cheaper than I would if I would buy already cut up stuff and cut it my damn self. So it's kind of nice. Had a lot of fun back in those days with the guys. We used to get to hooting and hollering back in the meat department, and it was a good time. It was a good learning experience. I worked my butt off, but it was fun, and it was like everything in life, you take something from it, and I learned a lot back in those days. So yeah, I was a butcher, man. And as far as not being able to play any instruments, it is one of the things I am hardest on myself about, and I would love to change about myself, but I do not know how to play any instruments. I would love to learn how to play guitar. Just the thought of like sitting around a bonfire and just pull a guitar out, everybody's having some beers, and you just kind of pluck away and just enjoy yourself, play some Simple Man or something. Like, I don't know. Um, I think that'd be a good time, but I haven't done it. Every time I have a guitar, I've tried to teach myself. I can't get my fingers to do the right things. I don't know, man. Every time I'm trying to hit a chord, like my fingers are pressing down on multiple, strings, and I'm fucking it all up. So yeah, I've never been able to get myself to learn how to play an instrument, and that sucks. Although I did have a period of time where I thought I was a rapper. Back in like right after graduation, I tried rapping. I still have music on the internet to this day. I will not tell you where it's at or how to find it. Not no, Dane, no, ain't happening, buddy. Uh, because that was a long time ago. I started off rough. If I listen to my like first stuff, it was bad, but I got a little better towards the end. But then I just stopped writing music. It's like whatever. It was more of a hobby than anything. But that's not an instrument, Rapping
Yeah.
is not an instrument.
No, you know what? Before I move on to mine, like I just want to say, like I highly relate with the musical instrument things. Like I don't know how many of our viewers can relate to that, but like it's something where when you can't do it, it's disheartening, man. And I did like a little singing and shit as a kid, but like as far as actually playing instruments, man, I never took to it. I was more into ball and math and like the other shit, the artsy fartsies and shit never came naturally to me, and I regret it. I regret it. I wish I would have learned guitar or drums or something, man. Everyone should. So if anything, I think Murph already said that he regrets it as well, or he wishes he could too. I regret it as well. I wish too. So like if you have kids, if you're still a kid, if you're a teenager watching this, if whoever, like just do it, man, because the only way to learn is to do it. Um, don't be us in 20 years or 10 years or whatever. Um, Something for later I just received on my phone. Maybe it's a SoundCloud or something that yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Murph. Um, as my dog barks, I got to get into mine, man. I just exited, let Murph spew his stuff for a few. Now it's my turn. The big sentiment in the chat is that like there's no way I was shackled to a bench for 3 days against my will. Hold on, let me adjust something here. Sorry, guys. I can assure you guys that is a true story. Um, and you can interpret that a few different ways of how that could be true. I can assure you that if you stay along on this journey while we get to 500 subscribers, I will tell you that story on that day, actually, as my dog's going crazy. Also, the top one on my list is 100% true. You could probably sense it when I told you it. Um, Again, I'm probably not going to fully tell that story, but like I'll tell other ones adjacent to it that can prove how that's a fact. But yeah, maybe the middle one I should have made more. I don't know. I kind of had a theme going with the first and the third one. I should have probably just made all three like that. But
Yeah, dark as
hey,
shit.
yeah, dark. Well, true. You know, like a lot of people, you can assume that people have cookie cutter lives or that, true. That's all I can say. And maybe you can see my craziness in other people's chats, or maybe you see me beef with someone, or maybe you see me say something cross once. Maybe now knowing some shit about me can give you some context on like, yeah, I'm not just crazy. Or wait, yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe there's a reason why this is called the Danger Zone with the Twilight Zone music, and we're just unhinged sometimes, man. It's just we're not just manufacturing the bullshit.
What's that quote? We're all a little mad down here, or something like that. Yeah, that's
Facts,
us.
man. And a lot of time, bro, it's not even like what you've been through. Well, it is, but like it's coming through the other side and learning from. Like I have some stupid ass stories, but I learned from every single one of them. What the is that? Your butcher knife?
That's my baby. A lot of miles on that blade.
Damn near katana, brother.
Oh yeah, I can't even fit it on the screen. There we go. Yeah, it was
You know
like
what?
this fat when I got it, and then from sharpening it and shit, it thinned out to that point. But yeah,
Joey
case
Bogey checking it. That is sweet. Do you still use it to this day?
not very often, but every once in a while. Yeah.
It probably reminds you of those days, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Joey Bogey checking in from Twitter, man. I love you, brother. I don't often speak to you over there. I chat with you more. But you're a good ass dude. One who a week or two ago we highlighted a bit of your singing on this channel. If you guys in the chat were here for that, just a snippet of zombie, dude. You got some pipes on you, man, and I would love to hear you in a studio one day and not just in a coffee shop acoustic. But we talked, Murph. We talked today. Neither one of us really can play any instruments. Um, Joey got the pipes, man, and it makes me jealous every time I hear it because he does have a skill there. So good to see you. Good to see you popping in, man. Go ahead, Murph.
Hey, thanks, Joey, for popping in, buddy. That's something that really bothers me too, because I love singing. I fucking love singing, and I suck at it. I can't sing worth a damn, and it's like the worst thing. It's like why do I love this thing that I can't do well at all? Like I don't know.
No, I do get it. Like the only like I teased a little bit that I was like in chorus, but it was only because my voice didn't change yet. Yeah. Once I hit puberty, man, that was the last bit of little music, out the door. So, um, sorry, my old lady got home, so the dog is going crazy. If you hear that, but look at this, man. Our chat showing love to Joey Bogey. I love that because we're cross-platforming right now. They got some Twitter comments, some YouTube comments. Really cool. But yeah, hit the like and follow. Like Joey said, Joey Turbulam. He is a cross between a Jet fan, Jag fan, and can't say I blame him because of what the Jets have done to us the last few years. But
Although the Jags have done much better.
yeah, true. For a minute though, I could see how someone could like, when they got.
Yeah, I kind of used to like the Jags a little bit back in the like Brunell days. Obviously Jets were always number one in my heart, but like I used to enjoy watching the what was it, Fred Davis, Mark Brunell, like a lot of those days. Those some fun teams to watch back then. I can't remember. They had a good receiver too, and I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. Uh, Chat, help me out. Who was the Jags had a stud receiver there for a minute too, back in the Brunell days. Dane, do you know?
What was the question? Brunel days, what?
Yeah, they had a good receiver too. The Jaguars did.
Uh, it was like a TT. Like, was it? It wasn't Thurman Thomas. Help us out, chat. I know they had Fred Taylor, Mark Brunel, Jimmy. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Jimmy Smith was a stud too, man.
Hell yeah. I got a little behind, but Rich, wait, you were shackled? Yes, I was shackled. Details are coming. Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't think you knew any of them, really.
No.
Sense,
Honestly, I did not know the correct answer. I guessed the Kendrick and Drake thing, except I figured that you liked Kendrick but didn't like Drake. I guess I was wrong in that instance, but I did guess the right one. The RIP thing, I figured that was true based on some of the conversations we've had, but you've never told me that particular, And then the shackled thing was like, what the fuck? But at the same time, I was like, probably.
I low key can't wait to tell that story, but I gotta wait, man, because I don't know. We've plateaued a bit here around 4 or something. We got to get these going. Come on, it's only 500, dude. There's people that started a channel a month ago that have that. So, just know that I will share way more when our finish line's already crossed. Because again, we only want 500. That's we don't want more. Once we get at 500, we don't want more. So that's what makes this channel fun. We're staying small. We just want that low bar. We want to clear that low bar. I want you to read this one, Murph, as I take this graphic down, and we're segueing into the final portions of the night. Go ahead and read that and tell me what you think of this comment specifically, Murph.
And Aubrey's parents have a real good marriage. Isn't that his name, Aubrey? Drake. Yeah. Drake's parents.
Yep. Aubrey Graham.
Yeah.
This guy don't want to battle. He's shook.
Yeah. Jeez.
Yeti, you're the man.
That rap was the best.
It was. I don't know.
I know something about you. Yeah.
You went to Cranbrook. There's some that we've definitely left in the dust already. But can you help me interpret this comment? Because I think I waited too long to showcase. This is 11 minutes ago.
That was the picture I sent you. Yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah. Or like industrial music, Rich said.
I out the names and stuff, so yeah. I mean, you could pull that up if you really wanted to, but I don't think it's necessary.
Let's see. All right. I'm going to scan through because I feel like I'm missing something at the bottom. MySpace. Yeah. Go lay down. Go lay down, silly. She just wants attention because someone else is in the house now and she's in here with me. Boo. All right, Scott, he says that is Knuckin' Futs. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Uh, Yeti, first step to sanity. Admit your insanity. Hey, would this be the danger zone otherwise, man? Crispy, truth or lie, Dano, danger zone. And by the way, I do feel the need to say this. I'm Dano. I'm not danger zone. This place is danger zone. And when I go chat places, it says danger zone, but I am Dano. So like, don't, I have so many people, hey, good point, danger or danger zone. Like, no, I'm Dano, man. Whatever. It's not a big deal. I really don't care. But like,
They must
what's
be
that?
newbies. I said they must be newbies because you've been in the chats as Dano for long enough to where people should know you.
I guess I got to show that Eminem avatar more often, just Dano. Or they think that I rebranded and I'm Danger. Like, no, it's just our place, our show, man, like our channel. But anyways, truth or lie, Chris B says, Dano, Danger Zone YouTube music video intro is badass, kick ass, incredible, if not the best, one of the best. Answer, truth. You know what? Hey, when you guys watch it again, look for that little Easter egg I talked about with Aaron Glenn dancing in the end zone and tell me the last time you've seen a player wear our uniform and dance that good. I'm just saying.
I will tell you, I don't know how to play an instrument, but when that song comes on, I'm practicing my air drums, baby, every time.
Yeah, dude, that you've even sold me more on it than I already was. Like when you just put the headphones on, and like I don't know how many people listen to us in headphones, but if you listen in like bass and play that intro, like the bass in it sounds so good. So just a tip for ones watching on the laptop or just a naked phone, like one night throw some earpods in or one of these and listen to it. It sounds way better. We probably do too, but anyways, let's see.
Scott,
Skipping
who the
ahead.
hell is Keenan McCardell, dude? Was that another receiver?
It was.
Was
Yeah,
that his guess? I don't know if I remember him. The
I
name
remember.
kind
I
of sounds.
think if I had to guess, I think he was 83. But chat, some of you, one of you will know if he was 83 or 81, somewhere in there. But yeah, Keenan McCardell was good for a while, man. And it was after Jimmy Smith, I think. You probably know him.
The name sounds familiar. This freaking cat just walked all over my laptop and everything. He said, "Dude,
I
squeeze."
saw that. Did you see the short I produced today with you and your cat in it?
Yes, that was actually a really good cut up right there. That clip. Um,
Uh, Yeti says, I've seen a lot of people call you DZ. You know, DZ is fine. Like I said, I'm not knocking them. I saw Leany call me it today. I'm like, you don't have to put in extra letters just to, I think you're a comment. No, I'm Dano. And Danger Zone is a place, not a person, right? But anyways, yeah, I had to get that off my chest. Scott says, fuck. McCardell did have a longer career, though. Yeah, when we were thinking of Jimmy Smith's, I don't know why my mind went to Yancey Thigpen, but I'm glad it came back.
Keenan McCardell,
McCardell.
he went
Good.
from '92 to 2007.
Yeah, dude. Okay, when was Smith? Or
I,
Smith?
I'm I'm not sure. I have to back up and check that out.
No, you're good, man. Keenan McCardell, that's a name, man. Like,
The name, now that I'm saying it more, like I'm like, yeah, that does sound familiar. That is wild though. I just, dude, I love reminiscing like old players' names and stuff. Like
I I don't know why, but like I love associating their name to their number. Jimmy Smith, like Chris B's saying, was 82. Chris B, can you tell us what number McCardell wore? Because I think it was either 81 or 83. But they must have been a 1-2 punch for Brunel back then. And honestly, the late 90s Jags, I really liked watching with Brunel at the helm. Something about a left-handed quarterback I just really took to back then. Yeti, dude.
same. I'm a lefty, so I'm same. Jimmy
Yeti,
Smith
I
was
just,
92 to 05.
2 to 05. So almost the same damn career, except 2 years shorter. Yeti, I just want to thank you for not calling in and showing us a white ass cheek as you left. So I appreciate that, brother. Yeah.
They had a nicknames too. They played together and they had like Keenan McCardell was Thunder and Jimmy Smith was Lightning. I did not know that. I was a little young back in.
No problem, brother. I see your boy is chomping at the bit. Do you want to step away for a sec or do you want to call it?
Up to you, man. Are you feeling froggy?
I'll chill for 10 or 15, see if the chat can take me a little longer. But if you want to check back in, you can. If not, you're good.
I'll be back.
All right, brother. I'm just gonna post. Well, I think it's already pinned, but if anybody does want to join me, I'm just chilling, man. I don't know. There might be other shows on by now, but it's after midnight on the East Coast, and we're just chilling, man. We started the weekend off right. You guys killed it in the chat. Not major numbers, but I think they're decent for the time of year we're in, and I think that we learned something tonight that we didn't expect to learn, and those are sometimes the best streams. So, 87. I should have knew that, McCardell. I should have. I can picture it now, and I don't know why. As a kid, though, I was obsessed with matching players' names to numbers, but I'm a little rusty. Chris B says he's in New Jersey, Union, New Jersey, as a Jets fan. You know what? I've been to New York a few times. Did not get down to Jersey, but right on the edge. So I've seen Jersey. I haven't been to Jersey, but have you been there your whole life, Chris? Scott, it's been a while, man. If you want this show to last more than 10 more minutes, the call in line is pinned, my man. No pressure. I do believe we gained at least one subscriber tonight, which is cool because actually like 3 of the last 4 Fridays we did not. Kind of plateauing a little bit, which is cool. But again, I just want to get 500 once. Be done with it. Oh, 422. We got 3 new people today. Appreciate you guys. That's 3 new grandmas. Thank you. I knew it, man. Just had to power of suggestion, right? Chris says he's 25, which is something I did not know, and has been in New Jersey his whole life as a Jets fan. Good to know, man. 25. That's Y2K, man. If you were to ask me what I was doing in the year 2000, I would tell you I was in 6th grade trying to get 7th and 8th grade girls' numbers and playing b-ball. Yeti, you know what? Yeti makes a great point here. He says, Crispy, call in here. This is a really respectful group. Even if you do go blacks, yeah, got to dip. You know what? Okay, so before you answer, Crispy, I do want to bring this up. Yeti teased it, but so I've been around the block the last week or two, and I've actually seen Chris be pressured to call in several channels. And my take was I kind of felt bad. Like he has stated, and maybe he hasn't there, but here he stated that he's just a chatter, doesn't have any inclination of calling in. And I will never pressure him to, but yet he's right. Many people have made this place their very first call in, including Nate, parentheses Nate, first ever call in here. Rick Kent, first ever call in here. Daniel and Murph, they don't call in many places. They call in here though. I like to think that if you can talk to anyone in your life, I can do it. You know, I'm not gonna. Hey, Charles Gorman calls in here. I don't take it off the rails and make jokes out of it. I get his football takes and we chop it up about football. Crispy, if you ever do want to have a first place to call in, I would be honored, man. But also, we would talk wherever the conversation goes naturally and no pressure ever, because it's nerve wracking to call in somewhere, man, because it's live and you can't take it back. So I've said it before and I'll say it again. It is more valuable to me as a host / creator to have you kill it in the chat than bounce around and only looking for places to call in repeatedly and never chatting. The people that just call around and don't even type shit don't help hosts at all. What helps hosts are the people that are driving the conversation down there while we're trying to talk up here. So no pressure, because honestly, you're more valuable to me not calling in. But if you ever did want to let me pop your cherry, so to speak, and Murph pop your cherry, so to speak, we would do it in like Yeti said, as respectful a manner as possible. Like just like we did with Nate, parentheses Nate, just like we did with Rick Kent. They popped their cherry here and then they went off and they hit the ground running. So yeah. Murph, what's up, man?
Hey, it's the usual Friday night. Um, and the thing about the chat, dude, I love it. I love the chat because they're always popping off at some shit and a lot of stuff we can't even highlight, but it kills me. It really does. So, and you and I, like, that's how we, dude, that's how we met, was through the chats. Like, honest to God, me and Dane, like, Dane is a friend of mine, like, and we met in Jets YouTube chats. Like, we've gone to a concert together. We've gone to a Jets Pittsburgh game together. Like, like the chat is the best, man. So if you're not a caller, it's fine. Like, we love people just chiming in on the chats too. It's great, man. That's where we
Yep.
go.
And no need. I mean, like I said, Yeti brought it up, but I only mentioned it because I've seen other people on camera saying the same thing. Hey, call in. It's like, don't call him out. Like, I'm not going to call him out, but if he wants to, sure. But I also wanted to reiterate that, like, there is way more value to us in what you're doing right now, Chris, than for you to ever feel like you have to, call in. But if you also too, like, you call in some channels, you better be on point or you're going to get ridiculed.
Yeah.
We do. It's a different vibe. That's all. We're a small channel. So just know that too. If you're going to start small. Yeah.
I know I used to get so nervous to shows. I would, and I would forget. Like, I'd have points. I'd be like, all right, I want to talk about this, this, and this, or at least this and this. And you get on the camera and you're like, you just blank out, totally blank out.
No, for real. And even if you do have excellent points, it's hard to deliver them on the spot in the middle, like how the conversation goes. So yeah, God, my dog.
It
But
takes a
yeah,
it takes a while to get comfortable. It was the same thing. Like, I know I mentioned earlier, like, I used to do the rapping thing for like a couple years or so, a few years, whatever. It was whatever. At first, the stuff we recorded in the beginning, man, really rough, because like I'm like reading. It was almost like I'm reading my lyrics off the page, and it was so robotic sounding. There was no like nothing behind it. Like it just sounded rough, man. And it just took a while. And eventually I got like more and more comfortable on the mic. And, and it's the same thing being on camera, dude. It takes a while to get used to it. And so if somebody does call in and you feel like you're fumbling on words and stuff, like it ain't no big deal. Like we're just hanging out here, guys. Like this is literally guys just chilling and talking ball. That's it. That's how we started
Yep.
this channel. That's the basis we wanted this channel going on, and that's exactly what it is, and that's what it's going to stay.
Yep. And I lean jets, but if you lean another way, I ride it out with you. I'm not steering you back to, I mean, depends, some guys need steered back, but for the most part, if you're a first time caller, we're going where you take me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, shit, we love ball or sports of all kinds, really. So, like, if you get on here and start talking Mets or whatever, Dane is going to BS some Mets with you, or whatever it may be. Like, I mean, shoot, we've dove into a lot of different things on this channel, so not really a big deal.
You know what I love, man? We're almost on hour 3, and look what I get delivered to me.
Dude, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah. Except I can't really eat it right now, but but I will. I will smash this when we're done. Just to recap, guys, a little bit. We talked a little bit of sauce. We talked. I don't even remember by now what we talked in that first hour and a half. Just kind of honestly, we can wing it pretty well with where the conversations are going these days. The next couple weeks, we have 3 weeks left until training camp. And we have some heavy hitters that I purposely held off. And I said, you know what? We could take you on June 27th, but I think the viewers would appreciate it more if we don't and if we talk to them in the middle of July. So it gave us tonight the chance to have some fun. But what it also means is that we have heavy hitters coming up, man, that we haven't burnt already. So think about it, chat, and think about it, Murph. Like, if you have a suggestion where you want to take some of the conversations with our heavy hitters coming up, and I won't name their names, but like really heavy hitters, do you want us to like look at some of the camp battles that are coming up? Like I know on Jets Worldwide, we were talking hypothetically, if Brees sucks or he's traded, who's RB1 between Braylon and Isaiah? That could be a conversation. Like, I'm just saying, like, camp battles, the pecking orders of our positional rooms. Let us know. After the stream ends, post a comment. Do you want us to talk about how the offense system should run, how the Wilkes is, what he's going to bring to the defense? The comments you post after the show is over and you refresh and then there's an actual comment section, those are more valuable than just a live chat after we have wrapped or something. Just keep that in mind. But yeah, like I said, Murph, this one we did a solo, you and me. We might, I don't know, next week is the 4th of July, man. So we're going to play that by ear. But then July 11th, July 18th, July 25th will probably all be guests. So, any takes on what I just said?
Yeah, I'm not sure about the 4th of July thing. I was going to ask you after the show. I didn't know what was going on yet. That's my holiday, man, because the 5th of July is my birthday. So I usually, but I know for sure I'm busy on the 5th. I got a whole thing going on. I've been spending way more money than I probably should on fireworks, and it's going to be a whole thing. Hoochie Daddy holiday for me, that's what I do. But
You're spending all that money you saved on proms back in the day.
that's it. That was in my mind back then. I was like, you know what? Instead of paying for this limo and shit. Like, I'm going to spend this money on fireworks and have a blast, no pun intended. Um, so yeah, I don't know, but yeah, the fifth I'll be busy for sure. The fourth, I did have a friend invite me to his big firework thing that he's doing, but I'm not 100% sure if I'm going or not. So I don't know. We'll figure that out, I guess, as we go. Um,
I'll
but yeah,
probably just I'll
go ahead.
use the best guest that you want to be with next week, and you can take the night off. All right.
Noted. I'm showing up in my Fourth of July um, romper or whatever you want to call it. Just because you said that, calling in
Nah, nah,
Fourth
nah.
of July
You know what?
romper. I'm doing it
The,
anyway.
I know two or three heavy hitters we're gonna have in July. One of them might be a Saturday or a Sunday, so it'll be a separate stream, which means that next week we'll probably well, we'll figure it out. I'll talk to you after the stream, but it's a holiday, man. Take it off. Take it off. Just know in the chat that I'll at least come on for 90 minutes or so and chat it up with y'all. Because I know you kind of get set in a routine. Some of you guys are homebodies. You're not going to see fireworks, but you want something to do. And got a nice little 12 pack of people here that really like the show. And honestly, they're all we need to have 90 minutes. Yeah, that dude, it sounds corny, but like once you do this and like you see the same people over and over again and they're spitting their takes in the chat, you even if you don't highlight them all, you see them all. And you know, uh they kind of form a little family with you even if they don't know it. So if you don't know it, I'm telling you now, we appreciate you is all.
I got
Um
one talking point because I feel like we're
yeah.
winding down. I got one last talking point for us, Dane. I want to ask you if things go sour this year and next year, basically this regime's tenure, if that happens. I mean, if it's bad, that's probably all it's going to last is this year and next year. Um, do you consider on changing the uniforms again just to get rid of the bad juju? Trying to wipe your hands clean of it, or are
Great
you right here with these uniforms, no matter good or bad?
Great question, I will say. And I just want to respond to Chris B real quick, man. Good luck. Because those raffles can be hard to win. Good luck, man. I hope you win. Uh, Uniforms. For one, they haven't even unveiled our white helmet yet. Like our Jets. Like, no, man. We go 0-17 back to back. I still want these uniforms. They're it's not tied to like, and it never was for me tied to the success of the team. For me, it's just like, what even was this? Just a football shaped, vaguely football shape, and it just says New York Jets in a boring ass font, and then another football shape. So like, what I'm trying to say is, I didn't want rid of this because the team was bad. I wanted rid of it because it fucking sucked. um, and like honestly, I've wanted to. You guys see it down in the corner, and you see that up there, and you see it on my flag. Like, bro, that's the '90s for me, and like I wanted that back even during the Rex era, but I didn't even think it was possible. So like how the fact we have it now, hang on to it. Um, the only thing I would change is maybe like something with the white collar, kind of, just subtle tweaks. Maybe I would pizzazz up maybe the jerseys a little bit, but the helmets, man, the helmets I would not change. The black helmets with the green face mask, so cool. When we get a white helmet, whether it's green writing or black writing or or green writing and like a snazzy face mask, I think it'll be even cooler. They had a media day the other day where they showcased our players like on a stage with like fog machines and shit. Go watch that video because it's 2.5 minutes. Skip the first minute, but the next minute and a half, Quincy getting people amped up with smoke, Sauce, Brees, even like there is just sweet ass uh, videos, pictures of the guys in those clean ass uniforms. It's going to have us amped up in every pregame. Hopefully we win, but like the stage will be set and it starts with those uniforms for me. What about you though? Like that's one take. I'm saying I don't tie it to the success of the team. Maybe maybe I'm lying. I don't know. I'd have to see. But like, where are you at with that?
So yeah, I don't. I'm gonna just be upfront. I don't tie the uniforms to the success of the team. I think that's ridiculous. I don't think there's good luck or bad luck with certain uniforms or anything like that. Um, I'm going to say, for one, I absolutely love the logo. That love that. I think as a team that's called the New York Jets, you should think of like sharp, fast, slick. Like that's that logo. That's that logo right there. It's like sharp. It's fast. Like the Jets. Like you know what I mean. Like I think that that's what you should have. Like that's what it needs to be. Like the whole oval thing. Like okay, I guess it had somewhat of a classic look, and it was like just like the 49ers with their oval and like whatever, you know. But it was like bland, you know. Like I think that is what it needs to look like. So the logo thing was the biggest thing for me. I wanted to go to that logo, back to that logo, and that's the one I like. That's the one it needs to be. Um, as far as uniforms, like I like our look now. I didn't hate the looks before. As far as like the unis specifically, I would love a white helmet. That would be fine. But I do love our green ones too. The only uniforms that I don't think I did like at all, I did not like the color rush. I did not like the color rush unis at all. I didn't like that shade of green. I didn't like the way it looked. I don't know. And also when they try to do the throwback Titan uniforms, I can't stand it. I think like the blue is fine, but that like weird pukey beige color that goes
Mustard.
with yeah, it's like a like old ass mustard look or something. I don't know. It is ugly as hell, man. No, we need to be green and white. That's what we are. You want to do black? That's great. Black looks good on everything. I think you know. Like I wear a ton of black because I love black. But we are green and white. You throw some black in, cool. That's what we are. But yeah, the
Dude, you said it like with the sharp, like, bro, this is a jet bomber. Like, if you ask me, like, pointy, slick, um, we had like a JJ the jet. We had like a JJ the jet plane, like fat airplane looking thing for a long time.
I hated that. Yeah, I don't like the whole like commercial airplane. Like we're not the airplanes. We're not the New York airplanes. We are the New York jets, like fighter jets, like slick stealth bombers and like normal like you know, that's what we are. We're not the New York airplanes. We're not the we're not the 757s and shit that are, you know, hauling tons of people to their business meetings and shit.
Well, you said it like this above the NY and down there in the corner above the ET, like that is slick, man. And
Mhm.
I do want to see down there our rivalry uniform. I want to see that because that is apparently the airplane that'll be used. I want to see how they present that. That'll be interesting to see. Um, but at the same time, like even that looks a hell of a lot better than the old plane that we were using, where
Yeah,
it's
that
like a 757 or, like something you can fly from Montreal to Dallas. No, I want something that we just flew over to Iran in. You know what I mean? That's a jet, if you ask me.
Absolutely, yeah. We don't need a big old Airbus on the we need a jet because that's what we are, a jet, man, jets.
Yep.
Because we're
Bring
about to
back the
drop some
tough.
bombs. Drop some bombs.
Yeah, Arian Smith forever, baby.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I hope, dude. I hope the separation is real. That's what I mean. Like, don't trade anybody before you've had a chance to give them ample opportunities. Don't trade Corley. Don't trade. Yeah, I'm saying this. Don't trade Brees. Use them in the new system. The time to trade them was before the draft. Now the window for me is shut until Halloween. And then we'll go from there because I need to see, was it Keith Carter? Was it Tyrone Smith that made Brees look bad? Was it that and Brees together? Regardless, he's gonna have a fresh. Yeah, you don't know, and you have no reason to do anything now until mid-November. Like I think it's a November 7th or 8th or 9th or whatever. You can get a lot of intel from September 11th to November 11th. A lot of intel. Am I banking on this guy?
How cool
I'm
is
bank.
the show, though, you know?
I'll bank on him promoting this channel, but I'm not going to bank on him to put together 17 games when he really hasn't that were elite throughout ever. But at the same time, I'm not going to sell for pennies on the dollar either. I'm not going to sell him for something we won't even get for another year. So we'll see. But I'll tell you one thing: he can keep doing that. All right, guys. Let's see. We got 6 in the YouTube. Got 40 that may or may not still be active on Twitter. Regardless, I think that's a wrap, Murph. Let me get old Brees off the screen here. Spike that like if you're still here and you haven't already, or you're late joining us, man. Hell yeah. This has got to be like, I don't know, let's see, like 75 Fridays in a row we've done, together or separate, regardless, like 75 in a row. We're no stranger to the Friday night game, hit or miss sometimes, but I'll tell you what, man, the people who showed up tonight showed out, and I appreciate them. Like Chris just said, spike the like, man. In the danger zone, you spike it. Other places, you smash it, you hit it. Here, you spike it, man. And I appreciate you, Chris. Phenomenal streak, TGIF in the danger zone. For real, for real. Anything you wanna? Okay. I don't know. We're gonna pitch our final take on this, but I want to ask you in the third hour. Actually, it's the fourth hour now, technically. Do we get Sauce and Garrett for under 55 AAV together combined? That would be like a 33 and a 22, or a 30 and a 25. 55 is where I'm setting the bar. Will it be higher or lower? And we will get more specific down the road, but that's just my hypothetical fourth hour question as we wind down and hit the intro after this, or the outro.
Simple. Just like the salary cap. Going up. Higher.
55 is a tough bar, man. That's probably what the over-under would be set at. And we're talking AAV, like the average. Because you said higher, and I think it's going to be so damn close. 20, okay, Chris B saying 20. Hey, is it together, Chris B? Is it 55 higher than 55 or lower? Because you're kind of wallowing there. You got to pick one, man. Because that's 50 to 60. Is it higher or lower than 55? You know what? I'm going to stick with lower because I think it's going to be 30 and like 24. So I think it's going to come in a hair under. And these guys would get so much more if we won, but they didn't. So I'm going to lean lower. Because another thing, I thought Quinnen would get 9 figures. I thought he'd get like 120 million. Somehow they got him for 96 less years. So I'm just saying, like, the only $100 million guy the last 40 years for the Jets was Aaron Rodgers once. That's more about duration, I think, than AAV, but I'm still going to lean lower.
Yeah. Chris is with me. He's going higher. So clearly you're wrong, Dan.
Well, I could change my answer next week. 55 is a tough mark, man. That's tough. All right, man. Hey, good show, man. We made the most of it. Thank you for playing 2 truths and 1 lie with me. I think that was fun. I think we need to do that with some viewers down the road, like our regulars, like Scott and Johnny. Got to get them on here to show their 3 iterations. But for now, man, gives us a launching point for some future talks. So appreciate you doing that with me. Chat, appreciate you. Again, hit the like. Can't say it enough. Spike the like. But otherwise, man, we'll see you on Independence Day, or we'll see you the week after. Murph, any final words as I hit this?
Nah, man. Just everybody go enjoy your weekend, and we will catch you soon.
Hey, Chris B said it best, man. Good night, everybody, and enjoy that weekend. Later, guys. See you, Murph. Hit that bass.
I love the show. I love you guys. Fucking, let's go Jets. JTS. Jets.
Can't all be beautiful. in the danger zone.
Put your seatbelts on and get ready for the ride.